I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I'll be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And why you motherfuckers still stupid? The Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free. Minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be. My bad. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. You see the title. More importantly, we about to get into this topic. What's killing the red pill? Grifters. So, in hypocrisy. Now I'm gonna say things on two different extremes, and I'm using the thing that happened with Cooley from No Fugazi. He's part of this issue now. And on the flip side, on the completely other end of the spectrum, the young lady who said, what is the trophy wife chick who said her kids got assaulted by her sugar daddy that she was playing to get a bag, right? So the Shira 7 sprinkle crowd. But in the interim, I'm gonna work all the way through from one extreme to the other. So first and foremost, and I'm showing my face, and just in case this goes out and people go like, who's just hiding behind an avatar like they don't know who I am, that's fine with me. So I'm, whatever happens. So I'm not trying to pick a fight or nothing, but it is what it is. I don't care. The Cooley situation, to me, it's no different than Derek Jackson. It's no different than Fresh and Fit. It's no different, oh boy. Well, I'm naming people. Let's just say I'm naming people when I say that. It's the same premise, a guy who's saying one thing and doing another. Now, if you're gonna be a hypocrite talking about quote unquote red pill stuff, it's okay. But say you're a hypocrite. Say I'm not doing all of this stuff that I'm talking about. But this is the problem with the pride of people. People are out here telling you one thing, doing another, and then when they get caught doing the opposite of what they preach, and they go, I don't understand. I mean, why don't you understand the technicalities that I'm going with? How come you don't get that I can do, I can say one thing and do another because of what? It pays. That's why it pays. That's what's been going on. Grifting on YouTube pays. And a lot of people, seem to forget that. A lot of people seem to be like in awe of the situation. Me, not so much. Because it's happened time and time again. I remember, Tommy Sotomayor was saying one thing and really doing another. But he huge channel. You get what I'm saying? Huge channel. Because people want to hear this stuff. And on this end, I'm gonna say this for the grift, that's the red pill grift, especially with black men in the red pill grift. There are black men who swear that they're giving you red pill content and the real game about what's going on out here, and the 304 is this and the 304 is that, and these women are bad. And the people y'all listen to are normally black men who basically go about it this way. When black women are single mothers, bad. When white women are single mothers, it's okay. When Hispanic women are single mothers, it's okay. When Asians are single mothers, it's okay. Black dudes, when black women are 304s, it's terrible. When white women are 304s, it's okay. Hispanic women are 304s, it's okay. Asian women are 304s, it's okay. They're not black. It's not their culture. They're raised in a different culture. It's like, okay. And y'all should, I remember, shout out to Edward Anderson. He used to always say this: don't go red pill for black women and to go blue pill for white women or everybody else. And that's generally what guys run into. These guys are so red pill on black women. Some of them ain't been with black women, ain't been with black women for years, ain't been with black women for decades, but they can tell you everything about black women. And I'm not here, just caping whatever. The rules don't apply when you're dealing, the red pill when you're a black man doesn't apply to white chicks. It doesn't apply to Hispanic chicks. It doesn't apply to Asian chicks. It just doesn't apply. So right then, when I see this stuff, I know you're a sucker. I know you're a sucker because you're not, all of this masculine frame and standing on your masculinity, blah, blah, blah. It goes out the window once you change the race. So now I'm like, not believable. This scandal, is just a whole nother, this scandal is just a whole nother thing that keeps happening. That to me, that was no different from Derek Jackson's scandal. He got caught doing something that, oh my God, who knew? It's like, everybody should have known, So now, we playing this, people are playing this game, and the other thing, what killed the red pill? Gurus, fake gurus. I can get on social media. And when I say red pill, let me say this. What the red pill is now with a lot of black men that are doing red pill relationship content, they're just guys who weren't in the black manosphere, who didn't want to associate with the black manosphere, who just repeated everything that they heard in the black manosphere. And that does not mean that they were living it. but they knew, hey, I can play with the algorithm. If I say it, if I'm a black man and I speak like this and I say, listen, these black women out here, they're single mothers, they're 304s, they're out here just busting it wide open for everybody. They're not good at all. What you need to do is stand in your masculine frame and move on, brothers. Unfortunately, a lot of you, too many black dudes are suckers for this. Too many black dudes are suckers for this. And white dudes go, yeah, bro. Yeah. So, it's like an internet incel orgy. Y'all want to talk about Diddy parties, but that's what all y'all, there's too many of y'all, you should have your baby all by the computer. I don't really talk to women, but the guy says they're 304s. They're evil single moms and 304s. And that's why I don't do anything. This is why I don't talk to them, because they're not good. I remember this one time I tried to talk to a girl and she just shot me down. And I said, these 304s are beneath me. It's like, okay, dog. But once again, the same thing with the fake relationship gurus. It's the same issue over and over and over again. A bunch of people who like, you know what? Let's talk about all the bad things that could ever happen. Let me tell you this, fellas, if she doesn't want you for you, then she's evil. Ladies, if a man's not going to take care of everything for you that you're not taking care for yourself, then he's not really a real man. And how about we get on a panel and how about we go everywhere and just talk about this stuff that we're not doing in our real lives and have all these conversations with all these people who swear they're going through trauma and toxicity and need healing. Because let's be honest, what it is these suckers want somebody to pat them on the back and tell them it's not their fault. And as long as you can tell these people, these men, that it's not their fault, and simultaneously tell women it's not their fault, then guess what? You can make a lot of money. Yeah. So this red pill stuff, this red pill is garbage. And it's like, Jesus Christ. All right. This red pill stuff is just for lames and incels. And so what are you actually doing, Guru? I'm just repeating everything that I heard from Kevin Samuels, Minister Jap, BGS, they can't say the name right. I be more. It's just it more, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying everything that I've heard from, Tommy Sotomayor or Angry Man or what is old boy? Black dudes, Roosh V. And I'm like, okay, bro. All right. I understand. So really what's killing the red pill is like, y'all out here playing these games. Buy my course. Come to my channel. Get the likes up. Hit my Cash App. Get the like. And it's like, oh, while I tell you this relationship gospel. And it's like, bro, y'all can't tell these dudes don't know what they're talking about. Like, let me say it in this way. You mean to tell me you can't listen to their voice and catch the insincerity and catch the dry, fake logic? You can't figure that out. You can't figure out that these people are talking not from experience, but just from rhetoric. You can't figure that out. Hey, this dude, you're a troll, man. You doxing people. You gonna get shot, bro. I'm just gonna tell you that. Like, I don't know what is wrong with you. Yeah, I saw what you did. You dox people who weren't living. You doxed. Man, hold up. That's killing the red pill too. This.
he said he doxed just, the red pill guys. No, you dox men, you dox women, you dox people that wasn't in the red pill, you dox people who was in the red pill, you dox people who, who you were friends with, you dox people who were dead, you dox people at the wrong address. You was just tripping, dog. You was just tripping. You was just tripping. And you need to get a life. Well, truth be told, about these gurus and research, they're not researching it. Somebody else did the research. Somebody else made a statement, and now all of a sudden, now everybody knows 54% of black men don't have kids, and 61% of black women have kids, and da 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 da. And it's like, oh, okay, so, I didn't realize all these black men were on child support and they paid it regularly. I didn't realize these black men were involved fathers. I didn't know. That's the other thing that's been killing the red pill. Facts. Facts over feelings, not real. Facts over feelings, not real. Because at the end of the day, if I can entertain you, the facts don't matter. If I can entertain you, you're done. I'm living a lie, but it's okay, fellas. I'm gonna entertain you, and this is what I mean. I ain't even got to pick a person. See, let me back up with these gurus, right? Whether it's men or women. Let me show you how this happens. With the men, this is how it goes. And this was killing was killing the quote unquote red pill. There were guys who decided, okay, part of my shtick is I'm gonna get women on a panel with me. I'm hot. Need a fan, playboy. I need some women on a panel with me, right? I need these women on the panel, and I'm gonna get the type of women that are either drunk or not that bright, right? And I'm gonna get them on the panel, and I'm gonna hit them with logic. And I'm gonna say, I'm above these chicks. And then I'm gonna get caught with these very chicks. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop bringing these women on my show. I don't need a panel no more. Let's just stick to the guys. You know why I'm sticking to the guys now? Because the women are about to call me to the carpet. And guess what? There's women lack accountability. And so do these fake red pill guys and gurus when they get caught up. They lack accountability too. You know what? I don't bring women on my show. I don't need to talk to women anymore. It's just me and the guys. Talking about these women that we say we don't like, that we keep getting caught with, that we're in their DMs and we're on Instagram with. Stupid stuff. And even with old boy from No Fugazi, I don't expect him to have panels with women after this. But I'm gonna say, even with him, let me see how that's killing the red pill also. People tripping like, oh, you got a white baby mama, a white lady, a white girlfriend, white baby mama. I don't even care about that. Let me tell you what I saw that was disturbing. When they had the little Christmas thing on the Instagram, and we got the black Santa Claus, we got the white Santa Claus costume for the baby, and then and he said the baby's gonna choose, and when the baby chooses the black Santa Claus, the black dad with the white mother on social media hits the "that's my nigga" to a baby. See, a lot of y'all play this, and when I say a lot of you black dudes that, like to play this game with black women bad, non-black women great, a lot of y'all are self-deprecating to the point that it's like, yo, I'm with white people because I'm a better culture, see, and it's like, nah, bro, you got a coon soul. Oh yeah, he really did that. I think he took it down now, but it's some other people who talked about it and they kept the clip. So you probably could find it somewhere on social media. He really did that. It's like, man, So that's what you're telling guys to do. Get with a white woman as a black man so you can call your baby a nigger on social media. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. Interesting. So, but then, if somebody says, yo, I see what kind of person you are, you go, well, are you perfect in your life? Everybody makes mistakes. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Don't want to hear it. Now, it's that type of stuff that becomes a problem. It's that type of stuff that becomes a problem because now all of a sudden, when people think of red pill, now they think about all of these guys who really suspect. I forgot the guy. Derek Jackson wasn't red pill. He was supposed to be the antithesis to red pill, right? He didn't like those guys. But it's the other guy, Ace Metaphor, right? Ace Metaphor was supposed to be Derek Jackson. Diet Derek Jackson. But what did he do? He flipped and became, let me just play red pill talking points game. And it's like, oh, okay, interesting. So now, let me take the red pill conversations on the road. Cool. Even though, I don't really want to be associated with it. Whatever. It's not. Listen, man. The single mother conversations was for. And here's the thing about a lot of people. Part of what's killing the red pill is lack of information because people don't pay attention. The red pill was telling people initially, listen, if you don't have kids, don't date women with kids. That's not the best route to go. Go find somebody with no kids and you have kids together. The other part is if you have kids, date somebody who got kids. That was what it was, but people play stupid. People, I don't remember that. I know. Ooh. I ain't even gonna get into that cynical. I am, but so now we have this whole game. Now we have this game of what's up with the red pill, and it's like basically guys who weren't in the red pill were taking on the red pill talking points for money and basically torpedoing it with their hypocrisy. And nobody cared because, hey, they got a lot of views. And then when these blowups happen, like I said, it's the same thing with Derek Jackson. I knew Derek Jackson was full of it. My wife was like, no, he seemed like he got good points. And then when it finally came out, she was like, oh man, how did you know? I was like, come on, man. I know BS when I see it. So now we have to go back to the reality of some of these situations. And I've said it before, there's a lack of people who actually interact in real life, because this is why all these complaints are happening. Like some of you guys, the red pill was supposed to help you navigate the dating and relationship world. But basically what happened was a lot of y'all, men and women, just got addicted to rhetoric. On one side, you got guys who are quote unquote, let's go blue pill, and guys who are red pill on one side. Then you got women who are feminist and, pick-me's on another side, right? So these people were supposed to interact, but guess what? All they were hearing is rhetoric from the men that told them what they wanted to hear, and rhetoric from women that told them what they wanted to hear. So if you got told a story that you like so much, all it caused you to do is say, I'm not going outside. I'm not meeting people in public. I'm not meeting people online, and even though y'all online all day, I'm not meeting people at events. I'm gonna turn everybody down who tries to talk to me. I'm gonna shoot everybody down. Our lies became the balloon pop. Now y'all making up people to say to say no to in your mind. You know, that was the whole flip side of the high value man thing. Ain't that many high value men in the world, okay? But everybody became a high value man. I'm tall, so I'm high value. I'm in shape, so I'm high value. I use deodorant, so I'm high value. You know, people added on stuff to the definition to make themselves fit in, you know. So it started killing the red pill rhetoric because people kept getting caught up and getting caught in hypocrisy. It just kept happening, and it's gonna keep happening. And then now let me let me go on the opposite end of that spectrum, you know, for a moment. And then you got the opposite side where I said, you know, y'all see the lady on social media. I want to say that her name was like Trophy Wife. She came up with the whole thing talking about, you know, she got married to basically a guy that was a sugar daddy. She was on that sheer herself and sprinkle side of the game where, you know, I'm gonna find a rich man and use him for his money and act like it's all good. Game changer. Okay, just give me a few. Let me get this last part out about this other side, and then I got you, game changer. But it's gonna be about 5-10 minutes. So what happened was, she says this dude, you know, she was looking for a guy to take care of her, and then the guy assaulted her after they got married, and he assaulted her kids. Now she got on social media with this. Now, so what I did was I was like, let me just Google to see if this person got arrested that she talking about, and I ain't find nothing. You know, just a quick Google search, I ain't find nothing. And I'm gonna tell you why that's important. And I'm gonna say some things because I saw Abba Preach talk about it. Abba Preach was like, I ain't feeling this. Basically, I ain't feeling this. And people got mad, right? People was mad at him. And when I looked at it, I said, let me tell y'all what this is. On the flip side, you have this interaction, you know, with women, you know, whether it's, you know, pink pill or whatever you want to call it, where you got women who think I can meet a man with malice and bad intentions and because I want to meet a man that I could use for everything he's gotten, he's worked for, and it's supposed to be all good. Nothing. I'm supposed to get blessed by God for finding a guy who got his life together, and I'm just supposed to come along and be cute and milk the guy until he broke, and you know what, it's gonna work out just fine. I'm like, okay, so you just an idiot. And then so when the young lady told her story, and then I've been preached had another video about what was going on with her. Basically, she was a teenage mother who had 2 kids and who broke up with the father of her kids because she wanted to pursue a trophy wife lifestyle, which means, you know, let me take these kids and go find a rich man to take care of all of us. And then she's saying that, you know, the kids got, you know, money hungry wolves. And then she's saying the kids got assaulted by her current husband. And I'm saying, you know, if people want to be honest about this, why she still got her kids? You left the kid's father and started meeting guys on the internet and got married basically, you know, because you didn't have a place to stay and you was trying to mooch off a guy money, and then the guy assaults you and you stay, and the guy assaults you again and you stay, and the guy assaults you again and you stay, and the guy assaults you again and you stay, and then the guy assaults your kids, and then you run to the internet and say, this is not what I signed up for. But I'm supposed to look at you as a good mother, a good person. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you turned yourself into a Tyler Perry movie where you pimping yourself out and basically pimping your kids out because you want to sit on the couch and do nothing with your life. Oh, okay. and this is the opposite side. What's killing the red pill is also these bums, like he said, beautiful bum hustles. Exactly. So now we got this issue. Do I feel sorry for the kids if that's true? Yeah. But honestly, I'm not too sure if it's true, because hypothetically speaking, a person could have got with an older guy. They got married quick, and the guy decided, nah, I'm over this. I'm not even gonna get a divorce. I'm gonna get an annulment because it's still in the time window. And then she goes to social media and say, oh, he did something to me and my kids to string this along. Because honestly, if he did all that and you get him arrested and get a divorce, since you out for money in the first place, you'll be able to, get him arrested, take him to jail, get a divorce, and take half his stuff. And you wasn't even married to him that long. So when you run a social media first and now the police, there's a whole Me Too scandal. What? So is it real? Is it fake? Only time will tell, right? Only time will tell. But that's what I'm talking about on the flip side of these scenarios. What's killing these situations is also, the internet. Because see, people have come to the internet with these relationship ideas and fantasies and sometimes bad intentions and bad attitudes, and then said stuff like, I was right. Y'all came to the internet and swore to God y'all was right. You get what I'm saying? And so now what you did, you put yourself out there on social media that you're a good upstanding person and you write about what you're doing, and then people come across you and be like, wait a minute, you really got on internet and told this story about how you a scumbag and you actually thought you was in the right for this whole plan you got going on, and you think you can finesse and hypocrite and hypothetical your way out of it. And it's like, nah, dog, we can't do that. So now people are dealing with the backlash of being liars and scammers. It's not cool to be a finesse anymore, So that's a whole nother issue. I got you, game changer. Somebody's messaging me. Okay. So that's for game changer, everybody. And I know it's just for game changer. So then now we have this whole other issue. What's really killing the red pill is lack of experience. And I talked about it earlier, lack of experience. I'm gonna say this right quick, game changer, and I'm on it. A lot of people are so scared to live. Now y'all just talking in theory. It used to be people were talking from experience and they was giving you game, and now y'all just talking from theory. And it's really, and that's why for me it just falls flat. But all right, I got you. Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go do your thing.
Perfect. So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with a lot of the issues that the red pill face. I came to this space and I did expect one thing and found out that there was a lot of cracks in the foundation and just throughout. There's a lot of disunity in the red pill space that I feel that is unnecessary. People are at different stages and they come to the red pill for different reasons. What I see is infighting, one group of people attacking other groups of people for really what in the big scheme of things is petty differences. I think that we should focus more on what we agree on, and that is that there's definitely something culturally wrong with Black people that's keeping them apart from each other. And we should focus on those cultural differences, and how people react to it should not be a cause for division.
I'm going to say something about that. And I would say because we're Black people, we're focused on Black people. But I will say one of the other things about this red pill stuff is we act like these other groups ain't messed up. Because we see whites, we see Asians, we see Hispanics talking about their group, but we act like we don't see it. And the issue is, do we have some things to fix? Absolutely. But I think part of the problem is you got too many people think they're gonna run to another group and that's gonna fix the problem. And I'm like, I don't think that's gonna fix the problem, because basically, you know, if you can only see bad in your group, but then you can't see bad in the other group, the question is, if you go from one group to another group and you had the same situation, now is it a red pill problem or is it a you problem? And for me, that's where this stuff is getting out of pocket.
Right. So yes, these problems do exist in other groups, and I don't think that other groups are necessarily a safe haven for these problems. But we as black men, we have to understand that um, there are more black men looking for traditional, qualified, submissive, fit, feminine, and friendly black women than there are black women that meet those basic qualifications. That is the unfortunate truth of the modern black man. So something has to be done about that overflow. Now, however, brothers handle that overflow, whether it's through, traveling to the motherland, whether it's, traveling to South America or something like that, or whether it's finding love interracially, I think that we should be more accepting of that and not really just bastardize them, because let's face it, once our counterpart realize that they have a monopoly due to base loyalty, they're going to leverage that against us.
Now, I'm gonna say it from this perspective.
Okay.
Don't disagree with that, but I'm gonna say this from this perspective. One of the problems with that is now you got brothers trying to go to other cultures and they found people in other cultures. It's just they ain't gonna settle down though. New culture, new women, new this. It's just like, but I want more. So at some point, we do have to call this part to the carpet, because some people are moving like divestors, in the sense that divestors swore, if I go to white men, everything will be great. But there was no white men to be found. Now it's like guys like, hey, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going to meet these people and meet that people. But then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, there's nobody there. And it's like, oh, okay. So are you actually looking for a traditional wife, or are you just stalling, trying to use traditionalism just to be a player?
You're referring to like passport bros that
No, it's not just passport bros. It's not just passport bros. It's got you could say some passport bros do it. You could say guys who want to go interracially do it. You could say guys who, I'm looking for a traditional black woman, but I can't find one, but then find one, but then don't want that one. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, at some point you're gonna have to pick.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a very niche thing, but so if you were to divide black men into two categories, men who are looking to settle down and men who are not looking to settle down, a lot of men who are looking to settle down find problems in dating black women. And unfortunately, even men who are looking to not settle down, even players are finding, black women to be difficult. And they find that playing a different field is more advantageous, or, playing all fields is more advantageous. I mean, and just by numbers alone, if black women are 13% of the female population. So if you were a player, chances are you'll find yourself with, a large number of women from other cultures. That's just the numbers. You can't be a player and reduce your mating pool to 13% of the female population. That just doesn't really add up. So, if players want to do that, I don't really see, I mean, how, okay, I'm trying to understand, how would that be like a red pill thing?
No, that's my point. I'm saying there are people who are using the red pill for their own stalling tactic, or their own fear of going forward, or their own I'm gonna be a player, but I'm gonna hide behind a red pill. What I'm saying is people aren't, I can see people aren't really being honest about it. But since it's good talking points and since it's got a big name, it's something to hide under the umbrella of. So it's like me and you can say we're red pill, right?
Right.
And you can be looking for something, traditional woman, and I can say, oh, I'm looking, but I can't find one. But then at some point you're gonna go, bro, I didn't see you about 30 chicks, and all of them ain't really been messed up. So is it really the red pill, or is it this is the new pickup artist hustle? I'm gonna say I'm red pill.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Um, Being in the space, I don't know of many people who do both, who claim red pill as well as the game thing. In fact, a lot of game dudes are anti-red pill, and you know this. There's a whole sector that bashes the
Yeah,
red pill as they do their thing. Do you feel that a person can be both a player and red pill?
for sure. If
Okay.
if, if you're gonna tell people, it's just understanding, female nature, most people who players understand female nature. So it's like people are using this for their own advantage as a hustle. And don't get it twisted. I'm really going from I'm using the red pill as the term, but at points I'm vacillating because the women are on the same thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Hmm.
It's the same thing on both sides. And I'm looking at it like, okay, so you got men saying they want a traditional woman on one side, but can't find a traditional woman. But some people ain't really looking. And then on the other side, you got women who now all of a sudden they looking for a man, and it's like, but you dress like a thought, you act like a feminist, but now you're looking for traditionalism. So it's like two hypocrites who don't want to admit they're hypocrites, but they're looking for a relationship.
I see what you're
And
saying. Yeah.
you're like, okay, what we really doing?
No, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think that that's definitely a problem with black relationships. I don't really, I probably wouldn't classify that as a problem with the red pill because, for one, I don't really see those guys, like truly hypocritical guys in large numbers in content creating or leadership positions in the red pill community. But you're more experienced than I am in this regard.
Well, okay, this is my synopsis of that. And that's why I use the no fugazi thing and the fresh and fit thing, and I use Tommy a little bit. What
Mhm.
I'm saying as far as the men's side, it's the women's side too. But what I'm saying is, when you see people channels explode, and you see men gravitate to the message,
Mhm.
that's what that's what they're on.
Mhm.
That's what they watching. That's what they're consuming. That's what they're on over and over and over. These channels didn't get big for no reason. You get what I mean?
Right.
So, and at the same time, it's like, okay, so these are the guys you're following. This is their rhetoric, and they keep getting caught in real life being a complete hypocrite to the rhetoric. And it's like, well, what do you think that makes a lot of the followers? Because they're on the same thing. I'm not
Right.
saying they lockstep 100%, but the vast majority of them, whether it's the men or the women, it's I want everything for a little bit. I want you to be completely responsible, and I want a lack of accountability. But when I get caught, I'm like that. I'm me. But when you get caught, oh, you the worst thing, that ever crossed the planet. And I'm like, man, you're making this red pill thing look bad now.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I want to break it down person by person. You mentioned three groups of people. You mentioned Tommy Sotomayor, Fresh and Fit, and the No Fugazi podcast. So I'm going to start with Tommy. Tommy, he definitely is, or at least he was, using this as a stepping stone, like taking the truth of it for his own sexual gain. That is something that can't be denied. We all know it, and that's something that should be done more responsibly than how he's doing it if he chooses to do that. Definitely, fame and fortune is an aphrodisiac for women. However, one should try to avoid scandal in that regard. But I think my biggest issue with Tommy is not really that. My biggest issue with Tommy is his inability to unite with other people. He's made enemies of every friend he's ever had and continues to do so. He's been in this space for quite some time, and he people who initially become friends eventually become enemies of his. And I think that because he can't really handle what he's doing, behind closed doors, he's looking at every man as a competition, and I see a lot of that going on. That's why him and Tariq Nasheed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He just, he went after Kevin Samuels. He just can't help doing that, and that's Tommy. As far as Fresh and Fit goes, I think that they came to a point where they found their content to be redundant, as many people have. So they just got desperate and started race baiting and attacking and losing, and now they're just flailing, hoping for attention. They're a train wreck in my opinion. Now, last but not least, No Fugazi. He is from what I've seen, and I haven't seen much of his stuff, but he does seem to be, he has a similar format to Fresh and Fit, and that is, bringing red pill talking points to just general modern women, and in a much softer way, but in a much more cerebral way than Myron and Fresh. And I don't know if he's gotten into any scandals with any of his guests. I doubt it. I think the biggest scandal now, which is to me isn't really that scandalous, is that he's with a woman who had children prior to the children that they had together, and she's white. And to me, that's not a major scandal with him, in my opinion. However, the way people are reacting, they're making it into a major way, and I think that part of that is what I talked about before, unnecessary divisions, is that they see him as competition to what they got going on, and that type of thing makes it very difficult for the red pill to grow. There's no cohesion.
So we're talking about three separate entities that have huge platforms, right?
Right.
And for me, they all did the same exact thing. It wound up being the same exact thing. It's not over. Tommy actually was like the genesis of people being able to blow up and
Sure.
make money at this. So he's sticking to his model. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Fresh and Fit, it's it's pretty much the same thing. Let's go hard body in, blah blah blah. No Fugazi is basically a diet way of doing that, but for me, they all have the similar aspect. Okay, let's go on black women in relationships. Okay, let's be the actual guy. When they talk about the Pookie and Ray Ray, let's act like that, but with white women or Hispanic women or Asian women, and act like that's not a thing. Let's say these black women are wrong, but every time you get caught with a white chick, she's the most beautiful thing in the world. She, her flaws don't count. They all did that same exact thing. Let's get with white people and talk bad about black people. And then when the white people throw them away, then they get stuck in this middle ground of I don't know which way to go. And that's why I said with old boy with the coolie dude, it's not the chick. A lot of times, it's not, if somebody's in a relationship, that's not the issue. The issue is how you get into an interracial relationship, and then all of a sudden you're a different person. Like what I said earlier about the little Christmas thing with the kid. You telling me if you got with a white chick, and you had a baby with her, you gonna go on social media and go, okay, we're gonna have the baby choose between the black Santa and the white Santa. And if the baby choose the white Santa, you, the baby, and the white and your white baby mama go be on social media and while you go, that's my nigga. That's what you gonna do?
No, I didn't know that he was doing that. To be
That-
perfectly honest with you.
That's
Well, I
that.
mean, I think. Wait, you're saying that when he picked the thing, he said that to his mulatto son?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that is. Well, to me, it's not very entertaining, and I do watch baby videos from time to time. That particular one, I didn't find entertaining or anything like that.
but
But
let me let me rewind a little bit.
okay.
And I remember when Tommy blew up, and I remember him talking about, like, if I get with a white woman, I'm gonna stop talking about black women. And I remember him getting with a white chick.
The Russian woman, I remember that.
Right. And you saw the switch up. And then she did him dirty. And then it was like, I'm not gonna talk about my angel like that. And then there's all these black women ain't this, these black. And I'm like, that's a problem. And the same thing, Fresh and Fit. Oh, these black women, these black women. But if I get caught with an Asian, with an Asian thought, it's okay. If I get caught with a OnlyFans white thought, it's okay. And it's like, bro, I'm not trying to hear this from you now.
Well, Tommy, I definitely remember the hypocrisy. I don't know. I wouldn't say that Fresh and Fit went light on the what Miss Asia scandal and Myron's mini scandals. I don't really see them going light on them. To me, especially with Myron, it's really just exposing the fact that they probably are not qualified as dating coaches. I think that that's what's being exposed, and
Right.
there's definitely that's something that's being revealed. Yeah, I'm not a dating. I don't use the red pill to claim to be a dating coach because I know how wily the market is, and to be honest, I'm not an expert in that regard. So, I'm not going to pretend to be to make money. I mean, that is definitely tarnishing the image of red pill if they're claiming if Fresh and Fit are claiming the image. I don't know if there's a racial bias well, I do know that they have an ethnic preference. Let me stop there. I do know that, but I don't know if they're going light on white.
I do.
And the same with Fugazi. I haven't, and I only seen very few of his videos, so you can easily correct me if I'm wrong. He does seem like he's equal opportunity, both in the type of guests he invites on his show and the way that he treats them. Now, I don't see how his personal dealings with a white woman really changes that. And this is from somebody who do think that pajama thing was a little, I guess the best word is corny, but maybe he has better videos. Like that's the only one I've seen.
See, I remember years ago, when O'Shea was in Poland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had the 21 convention.
Mm-hmm.
The 21 convention wanted him to be a part of the 21 convention in Warsaw.
Okay.
And they had three black content creators, and they were like, yo, you should come. We're gonna kind of come together and speak for the brothers at the 21 convention. And O'Shea was like, nah. And they was like, what you mean, nah? He was like, listen, y'all all were white chicks. How y'all gonna talk for black men? Are y'all gonna talk for black relationships? Like, what are we talking about here? Are you gonna talk about black men with non-black women, or are we actually talking about black men and black relationships? It's like, that don't even go together. And they didn't have a necessarily problem with it, but he called that out like immediately. Like he's looked at it like, nah, you're not finna have me. I'm gonna be the minority of black men with a bunch of black men that mess with black people. It's not finna happen. You get what I'm saying? No, it was three people. It was three people. Okay, so let's just say that's what I'm saying. It was three people.
Well, let me ask you. Do you feel that a black man who is dating or married to a white woman is ill qualified to speak on black issues?
No, but I think they're being hypocritical from what I've
How so?
seen. Because from what I've seen over the years, black men who aren't in black relationships, they speak far more of the black community than they do the community in the relationship they're in. You get what I'm saying? So it's no different than, let's just say, the Hodge twins.
Okay.
They do the same thing now. Oh, look at them black people. Look at them niggas. Oh, look at them. Oh, look. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, here we go. And then when it's white people, what you see it on camera. Well, what were they doing? Like maybe it was just not the way we say it. It's like, okay, here we go again. And the problem is, if you're gonna be there, if you're gonna be, if you're in an interracial relationship, that's your business. But if you only gonna talk about one side, it kind of looks weird, because for the most part, a lot of guys in interracial relationships, they're not continuously in the black community like that. So now I've seen how people just go with old stereotypes because non-black people want to believe the stereotypes.
Right.
So it becomes pandering. My bad.
Well, let me ask this first. The Hodge twins are with white women?
I believe so.
Okay, I didn't know that. Especially since there's two of them, that's more than a coincidence. If the black community was a geographical place, I would say that I'm not in it, geographically speaking, but I will say that it's still not a choice place for a number of reasons. And I think that even a person who's left per se can agree with that, and they do know it well enough to know that it's a place that they don't wish to be.
Okay.
Also, and I'm not defending the Hodge twins because some of their stuff
No.
is, but also, if they are, they don't wish to be there, and I also think that deep down they hope that it becomes a place to where they do wish to be, wife or otherwise,
I don't.
and I think that many are speaking with hopes that it becomes better. But nevertheless, I wouldn't even classify Hodge twins as red pill.
No, I'm not saying they are. What I'm saying is, I can unfortunately, same thing with Hodge twins, Brandon Tatum and all that. Like Candace Owens, it's the same premise, because it's like, I get it. You're not with somebody black. So now you got to overemphasize black is bad. But at some point, somebody got to ask a person, say, you've been in that suburban community for how long? 10 years. So how you know all this hood stuff? How are you just so enthralled with all this? You can't tell me nothing about the black people in your area. You can't say nothing about them. It's just it's all these fantasy hood people. You know what I'm saying? You're in Connecticut, but you talking about this hood people in Milwaukee and Chicago. And it's like, bro, what's up with the other black people in Connecticut? In your surroundings.
Let's say this. Do you live in the hood?
Not anymore.
Do you? But you are aware that it's problems there. That it's a problematic culture.
Yeah, but I live in the burbs, and I can see the problems here too. I can speak on both. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I don't because I don't live in the hood no more. I can't see the. Oh, let me ignore these white people who openly smoking weed in public and not getting arrested. Let me ignore these people breaking into people's houses. Let me ignore these Hispanics and Asians stealing cars out here, because we're in the suburbs. It don't count.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. I will say that there's far fewer problems in the suburbs than the hood. That's why I prefer to live there, and I'm pretty sure that that's why you do too.
No, I'll say the difference between the suburbs, it looks nicer. Yes, there's more amenities, but also the police don't make as many arrests for criminal behavior out here. It's a lot like the people act like the suburbs they get in the suburbs, people get away with a lot of stuff that they would get hemmed up for in the hood.
I was going to Jamba Juice not too long ago, and I seen the cops cracking down on these people who tried to open a flea market on a lawn next to a building that they didn't own. Um, I do know that in the hood, petty stuffs like that is overlooked um, for real crime, which there's a lot of. Um, I seen the opposite. I actually seen cops being real petty on stuff. Um, that like littering and stuff like that. Like, you know, in the suburbs.
Okay,
But I mean,
like
it's different. It's different experiences. But what I'm going to say is that, and because the red pill deals primarily with the black manosphere, or black red pill, whatever you want to call it. It deals with primarily black relationships. I don't think that you actually have to be in one to see its problems. Just like you don't have to be in the hood to see its problems.
no, but that's
So
very true.
so
But it
people like Cooley, I wouldn't necessarily say Myron, but they do. I mean, I could see them wanting to speak on some of the problems and concerns.
I get it. I get speaking on problems and concerns. What I don't get is being that overly unbalanced. Because you're not the thing about this, like I said, is just like the divestors. It, it's no different to me than the black women who have the page with the white boyfriend, and they just and basically the whole implication is life is better because I'm with a white guy.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay. And then when it all falls down, then when it all falls down, it's like, um, I don't want to bash the white guy for being all these things. It's like, okay, but at least he wasn't black though, right? So that's the basic premise.
No, I agree with that.
But if the girl's doing it, I'm just saying the guy's doing the same thing.
Well, okay, let's say this. Cooley's not, because his relationship hasn't gone bad. If it did and he didn't, then we can definitely hold his feet to the fire on that. If his relationship goes bad and he's still singing praises, which he's not really singing ethnic praises, and he hasn't. But if he just ignores how problematic she was, you know, and attach that to perhaps cultural upbringing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then I would say, okay, he definitely has a bias. His relationship isn't going bad as far as we know, and it hasn't for quite some time.
No. Like when I talked about him earlier, the issue was, um, just say you're a hypocrite and move on.
He's not.
Yeah, he is. Because
Elaborate.
what he's been known to talk about is his life. It's just not his life with a black woman. Like, you can't tell me don't be a simp and you're in a simp situation. You see what I'm saying?
Well, okay. Depends on how you define a simp situation. I'm a man with no children, and I do date single moms. And I wouldn't necessarily call myself a simp for doing so. More like an opportunist. However, a single father meeting a single mother, you know, I don't see much. I don't see that as being a simp situation, especially since they have a monetized relationship, and it's. I mean,
Hold
quite
on.
frankly,
Cody, just give me a minute, dog. I'm gonna get to you. No, Cody's in the back chat, so I just had to say that. My bad.
oh yeah, no worries. But yeah, I don't really see it as a simp situation. I just see it as a single father getting with a single mother, which is
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that happens quite commonly.
Okay. I'm not I'm not saying, I said earlier, I believe in that. If you gotta if you don't have kids, you date people who don't have kids. That I was saying earlier, that's part of what people were talking about with the red pill earlier. But if you got kids, you need to date people with kids. But on the flip side, you can't have a rhetoric one way and even implying things one way, and then you live the complete opposite, and then you act like, oh no, I'm not doing anything different than what I said. And it's like, stop it.
Well, he's not.
Because people didn't know this stuff about him like that.
I mean, he
See what
didn't
I'm
hide
saying?
it. He didn't hide it. He had a channel with 2 million subscribers. I mean, he
I
wasn't
get it.
hiding that he's in a relationship with a single mother. That's how they were finding it. This is not something that's hidden. This is something that he was out there. He's like, yes, I'm in this situation. I would not recommend
But
men first becoming single fathers. And if you but put it like this, he wouldn't recommend that I date a single mother, but I will. I don't.
okay.
Somebody said single. Or you said that men without children should only date women without children. No, I date any woman I am physically attracted to and want to smash.
So
If
here
Rihanna gave me the opportunity, I would be all up in it. Like, I mean, but I don't care. I mean,
that's such an extreme. But like even with that situation, when I said earlier that it's no different than the black woman with the white guy trying to show off, here's my interracial relationship, that's the same exact thing. But on social media, you're on both ends of the spectrum. You get what I'm saying? So it comes off like, okay, yeah, this is what I say and this is what I do.
well, here's what I can see, right? With
One
divestors and
minute, Cody.
swirlers, with divestors and swirlers, they tend to give a discount when they cross
Thank
over.
you. Thank you.
I don't think Cooley has done that. This is not an ugly woman, and he is a single father. Perhaps if he was rich prior to meeting her, then he would be given an extraordinary discount. Being, what is he, 6'4"? Being 6'4", handsome and rich. But to me, he's a guy that met a female with a spectacular body, and they're both single parents.
Yeah.
I don't see the discount. Like, typically when the black woman does it, she's a 9, he's a 5, and she makes more money than him. It's an extraordinary discount. I don't see that here. I don't.
It's not a disrespect to the lady. It's just a hypocritical situation. He ain't the only one that's done something hypocritical, but I'm just saying. I'm about to put Cody up. Just give me 1 second.
Mhm.
You there?
What's going on, L.A.R, man?
What's happening?
Yeah, man. I agree with you on that, man, because I remember when Thomas Sotomayor was with that white woman when he was. I think he had a house in Arizona, I think, and he was with this Russian chick.
Yeah,
and I think everything just started switching up. Yeah, I see this more commonly with us, with certain men, especially like, for instance, that the guy that got deleted by that white chick with the OnlyFans. I think I forgot his name.
I know what you're talking about. Okay. For like saying that with Kenneth, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't have your relationship ain't really my business. So
Right.
whether it's in your own ethnicity or outside of your race, what I'm saying is, I can tell when black people are code switching when they get in a different relationship. If you're you Monday, if I'm talking like me today, and then tomorrow, next week I got a white girlfriend, and hi guys, it's L.A.R. I just want to talk to you about this red pill stuff, and it's like, hey bro, wait, what happened to the dude last week? And then it's like,
right.
But then all these black people, the black community has these issues. These black people need to get it together, and it's like, bro, who are you? And then it's the same thing when it's like if I was dating somebody Hispanic, viva la raza, Holmes. Like, wait, time out, dog. I'm like, what are you?
That's where that comes from.
What are you? What we doing? And the Hispanic community is so much better, Holmes. It's like, bro, who the fuck are you? It's for me. I've seen it's no different than even when guys play the role, now you want to date a hood chick, and now you're not a hood dude, but now I was down partner. I'm like, hey dog, stop it, just be yourself.
I get where you're coming from. You got people in the space that's not really themselves.
Well, okay. I know that exists, and Tommy is definitely a good example of that. I mean, there's no love lost between him and I. Um, However, I don't see that with Cooley. He's not overdoing any culture. He's the same smart dude, focused dude when he's talking on his show than he is, when he's on his dealings in his personal channel,
I'm not.
in his family channel. So I and he's also like hyper religious. And he has those religious values that he takes on both platforms. So I don't really see that with him. People are calling him a hypocrite. I really think that y'all are judging too harsh, and y'all taking down a brother. Y'all attempting to take down a brother's career.
I don't. Look,
I think it's something personal. I'm being honest.
No, I mean, to me, it's just because a person does red pill rhetoric does not mean they're not on Derek Jackson's type stuff.
No, it doesn't.
It to me, it's just Derek Jackson type stuff with a red pill on it.
I don't see him at all as Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson, he only dates black women.
I'm not okay. Everything is not meant for him personally.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this whole the red pill relationship dynamic that people talk about. The issue in general with it is, and I said it initially, is so many people grifting that people are so entertained they can't tell when they being hustled.
Would you classify Cooley as a hustler?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Definitely.
Why?
So, you know how I brought up Ace Metaphor and all that other stuff?
Yeah.
So basically,
I remember that part too. I remember Ace Metaphor when Obsidian Ali was drilling him, man. That time.
It's basically, let me take people's old relationship talking points. Let me take red pill talking points. Let me take the Black Manosphere talking points. Let me make a show about it, and let me imply these people bad, these people good, and then get caught up doing the very same thing that you say is bad. And it's like,
once again, I mean, it's a stretch to call that a hypocrisy.
No, it's not. If you're doing the opposite, what are you talking? That's a hypocrisy.
No, he's doing the opposite of what he suggested that people who are not in a situation do. And let's be clear. He was referring to a high value man, which is not himself, and it most certainly was not himself at 25. I don't see the hypocrisy.
Right. I don't know how old he. Right. I don't know how old he is now.
No, he got with her when he was 25. So let's give him early 30s right now, just going by the age of his kids. He was not a wealthy person. He was not a high value man by that definition, and he got with a woman that he was physically attracted to, that was physically attracted to him. I don't see the problem,
That's fine. Like that's the man's life. But in essence, what you're telling me is he was 25, he was a young man. He met somebody, and then he grew, and then he got online and got some red pill rhetoric and started talking the opposite of his life already, and didn't let people know, oh, well, this is what I'm saying, but this is how I'm living.
But you could have just let people know.
You could have just said, hey, bro, like he could have said it recently. The dude, but people was grilling him about what he was doing and what he was doing. Not taking up accountability, obfuscating from everything and acting like and trying to technicality his way out of this is not a good look.
Well, I seen his receipt show, and he showed how he was saying throughout the thing that he told people about his wife, and she had kids. He didn't hide this. He said it on his Fugazi podcast. He wasn't hiding this. So I don't. L.A.R. I don't see the I don't see the hypocrisy. Malcolm X did not hide his previous dealings with white women at all. He didn't. I mean, now when he became Malcolm X and not Detroit Red, he did teach brothers to go a different path.
Oh, okay.
Now
I got you.
he's still in his path, because what he's gonna do, leave his kids and
I got you.
his, yeah. I
When
mean,
it comes to him, you know, there's a saying, okay, I got somebody with a kid, and then people find out it's more than one kid. What are you talking about?
yeah,
It's
stupid. Yeah.
those things like, oh, bro, it looks like I'm omitting and leaving out details because if I say the whole thing, people might look at me sideways. Like if you're gonna tell a story, tell the whole story. Don't tell part of it. Tell the whole story. It's not a big deal. Do I want his channel to fall and go broke? Hell no.
Well, there are
It-
those who do,
yeah,
and
I don't care. I don't care about that. This is to me, this is no different. Like I said, Tommy had his things, Fresh and Fit had their things. Now he got his thing. Shira 7 had her thing, and Crystal and Charizard had her thing, and the girl, the chick with the white husband. To me, it's the same exact thing. Derek Jackson, it's the same thing. It's just it becomes a point where we
well,
have this
thing too, and that, and
right. But hold up. And here's the issue, game changer. When somebody says, "Yo, you got your thing," da 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 da. You know what you do? You double down and say, "Yeah." You don't go, well, you see, well, have you played checkers lately? If you lost at checkers, logically speaking, you're not smart enough to have this conversation. You don't do that.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? That's where this becomes a problem. And I'm not saying that with just old boy, because if it was about him, I would have made the picture about him. This just keeps happening. It keeps happening.
Well, I mean, men are carnal creatures, and every carnal act runs the risk of scandal. That's just the unfortunate, nature of men. It really is. Which is why I try to not badger them, or not try to destroy them, not jump on the bandwagon. The way that O'Shea treats Jonathan Majors, I think, is atrocious. I really do. This brother has lost everything, and he's fighting to see that he lose more. That's sick. I do not do brothers like that. I don't.
Get it. But
no one is perfect.
Here's the answer.
There is no justification to be a part of something that's supposed to be an advocacy for Black men and destroy a talented brother like that. That is horrific. I mean, I can't even rightly say I want to be a part of something like that.
Just hold that thought. But if you ask O'Shea, if he's why you getting at Jonathan Majors, he's not going to turn around and go, "No, I'm not." That's not really what happened. He's not going to do that. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That becomes the problem. When I'm talking about people being hypocritical, we all have our hypocrisies with it. But there's a level of arrogance when you get caught doing something that looks out of pocket, and you go, "Not me. I'm different. I don't apply. That doesn't apply to me." It's like, what are you talking about?
No, I think that I think that with Cooley, him saying that, listen, this isn't this particular advice is for guys without kids, is sound. I mean, because he was talking about high value man, which is what he was not at 25 by any of the tenets of the definition. For him to say, high value men use single mothers as for recreational use, and he got with a woman who was not a high value while he was not a high value man, and used her for more than recreational use, I don't see the problem. And he made hundreds of thousands in doing it.
Okay, there becomes a problem when you can't say, okay, this is what I said then, but 10 years ago, this is what I'm doing, what I did, and this is what I'm currently doing.
But he wasn't a high value man. Like, okay,
doesn't matter. You look. You can't. Okay,
it really does.
No, it don't. No, it don't. Because if you can't say this is my life, period. Oh, but when I was a high value man, this is what it was. But now I'm a high value man. It don't count. No,
All right.
just call a spade a spade.
We all were different people 10 years ago.
You know,
That's part of maturing.
absolutely.
But I mean, he even even the rules that he created for, let's just say people in general, today, he did not break those rules 10 years ago. He's saying that high value men should not date single mothers. He was not a high value man when he got with a single mother. That's the beginning and end of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I get game changer. I get that. What doesn't add up is if, like I said earlier, if you hop on that red pill rhetoric 10 years later, you could say, dog, okay, by my own logic, I would look at myself as a simp at 25. You could say that. You could say that. But just to sit there and be like, no.
If
I'm
he believes
special.
that
Stop it.
if he believes that that's consistent with modern red pill rhetoric, then and he's omitting that, then that's fine. But I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't, as I mentioned, I'm a man with an income. I'm a man who's 6'0". I don't know if I'm not gonna try to or not try to classify myself as a high value man, but I will say this: if she is hot enough, I will date a single mother with recreational intent. Now, if she turns out to be an extraordinarily exceptional woman in every way I measure a woman to be exceptional, then perhaps more. But I will date a single mother once again with recreational intent if she's significantly prettier than I am handsome. But that doesn't even apply. Like, I mean, that doesn't even apply. Like, at 25, I was not the man I am today.
There comes a point where, in keeping up with the topic, there's a lack of at a certain point when people are making content, there's a lack of honesty. There's a lack of real transparency. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, if you're going to go all the way left on a subject, you should be able to go all the way left all the way. You get what I'm saying?
You lost me.
Let me handle this, let me see the King David. Let me answer this real quick and then we can get to it. Who told you in life that you can't question what people do? That idea. This is what I mean by the hypocrisy. Why do he have to say anything? Why does he have to explain himself to a grown man? Why are you asking me questions with that logic then? Why you asking me that question? I'm a grown ass man. This is part of what I talk about I can do something, but then somebody can say the exact same thing to me. You know what I'm saying? So this idea that being hypocritical on one end is okay, but not on the other. This whole thing ain't about Cooley at all.
It's largely is. I mean,
no. What happened was
he's an example of how we unjustly, and viciously tear each other down. I mean, he is a crab that is being pulled down right now. He is being crab barreled.
Let me say this. There's been this certain pattern when it comes to red pill content creators who get themselves caught up in a situation that don't look too good, where they can't take accountability for how it's playing out. So, like I said earlier, it goes against this whole conversation about accountability. This has happened numerous times with numerous people who got caught up in numerous ways. And I'm talking about the principle of the subject. I get he's one of the people of the day. That's why I said on one end I was talking about all of them, and on the other end I talked about the young lady who talked about she went down a Shira 7 route and her kids got quote unquote assaulted, and people supposed to feel sorry for her, but not the kids. You get what I'm saying? It's this idea that, oh, when I go down this relationship rhetoric, if I can grift and make a bag, it's cool. But if somebody hold my feet to the fire, now it's a problem. It's like, no, it's not a problem. Like, what's the issue? Because part of this whole rhetoric is having conversations with people and saying, hey, what you doing right there? That's not what it is. So you can take what people's lives is and you can make a judgment call on it. But when your life comes to public, all of a sudden you turn, if you're a black man, you turn right into the unaccountable black woman. If you're a black woman, you turn into what about black men? It's like, bro, everybody it's the same stuff. And it kills the whole idea of the whole red pill idea.
I don't think that at least Cooley has anything to be accountable for. Okay, so look at what Miss Parker is saying. I just want to know if she made poor decisions as well, considering she was a baby mama when he met her. Likely, yeah. Because she definitely had poor outcome. So she likely made poor decisions, absolutely. And he made equally poor decisions because he had a poor outcome. So you have two people who made poor decisions who, found each other and made the best of said poor decisions. I don't like that's pretty much how that works. That's why people meet in rehab. I mean, that's.
You remember what's her name? Nyla and Cynthia G, right?
Yeah.
You remember what they one of their phrases was what? Who gonna check me, boo, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean with this comment. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, just from a different side.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let me calm down and back up for a second.
Well, I mean, I'm going to respond to what, because I do agree with King David. And I want to add the extra caveat that there's something else going on with the Cooley situation and with this lunacy that O'Shea is putting against Jonathan Majors. There's
you see how just for the record, you specifically went down the path of Cooley and Jonathan Majors and kept it there. Just for the record.
I don't like to see brothers get crab barreled. I don't. But this is crab barrel behavior.
No, but can you say initially I was talking about more than this was just that?
No, you did have a broader scope. Okay. I added Jonathan Majors to it. Because you brought up O'Shea, and I was like, okay, well, he's showing a pattern of, a visceral disdain for people who has ever dated white women, including myself. He's shown this pattern. And I think that it's unnecessarily holding brothers back for something that they did. And in my case, something, if the opportunity presents itself in pleasing form, we'll continue to do. A brother shouldn't be held back for, opening his options to someone other than 80 or 13% of the female population. That's ridiculous.
No. So I'm gonna let's go to the logic part for, So when people talk about the red pill, part of the things they talk about is masculinity and handling yourself as a man, right? And doing manly things. And what winds up happening is part of this rhetoric, there's a space in there where people think people have used this as a rhetoric, if I fit a certain profile, I can do sucker stuff and still claim it's masculine. And it's like, no, you can't. So, not saying everybody's perfect, not saying people don't have lapses in judgment, but this idea that you can buy your way out of integrity, or you can alpha your way out of integrity, or, basically you like, so if you had the money to buy your way out of integrity, if I got more money than you, I could buy you back to being in the sucker stuff. So if you feel like you could alpha your way out of integrity, then I can tell you, okay, I'm gonna alpha you right back into it. And this idea that, oh, wait, let me let me be masculine from a sense of punching down. I can be masculine to people I'm punching down at, but not people I'm on the same level as, not people that are higher than me. You get what I'm saying? And
I don't. Because here's the thing. O'Shea does punch down. Cooley is punching down. Jonathan Majors, when he's down, is being punched. Let's be clear. The moment these major celebrities, get a chink in their armor, that's when he attacks. But you want to know who isn't necessarily punching down? What's his name? Black Diaspora. What's his name? Phil.
Mhm.
This man got a whole white wife. You never hear O'Shea say crap about that. And that's because he has equal or greater than clout. And listen, there are some hypocrisies here that go unchecked.
That's all
However,
I'm talking about.
I do think that once the opportunity presents itself, something different happens. I want to address what Compassionate said about me. He says Game Changers triggered because he openly seeks out and dates single moms. That's what. Well, I don't really seek out single moms. However, if I'm physically attracted to a woman, I do not cancel them. I give them a higher threshold and criteria to meet long-term, to meet the requirements to be a long-term relationships. But I don't. If I'm attracted to a woman, I'm attracted to a woman. That holds a higher premium than if she has kids.
So let me take it a step further in part of this.
Okay.
Part of this red pill and just relationship dialogue is being better at vetting people and weeding people out.
Absolutely.
And the pattern for entertainment purposes, the pattern I've seen, it looks like it comes for entertainment purposes, is I'll tell you to vet, I'll tell you to weed people out, but that's just for you. For me, it's different. And I'm not talking about quote unquote Cooley, because like I said earlier, people caught Tommy in those situations. People caught Fresh and Fit in those situations. People caught Derek Jackson in those situations. People caught Crystal and Carolyn in those situations. People caught Cynthia G in those situations. You get what I'm saying? It's just the same premise of, okay, so what do we really, can people decipher when somebody's giving them red pill content or when somebody's giving them red pill entertainment? Because what it looks like is people gravitate to red pill entertainment and then they get their feelings hurt when they find out it ain't necessarily how the content creators actually moving.
I don't. I don't. Like, apparently they caught Martin Luther King with a white woman. I did not care. Like,
that's a lie, though. You see what
okay. Okay, but even if it were true, I wouldn't care. It's a non-star. It's one of those, like, okay, it's
no.
I would say that this person is doing this thing, and the message is true.
So
I am very forgiving when it comes to stuff like that. Probably more so than I should be. But
that's that's where I'm coming from. Using the Martin Luther King thing, because people, because the allegations of him the allegations of him cheating, that really started from the Malcolm X movie, right? From a scene in the Malcolm X movie.
Compared to the reason he's the saint.
Yeah. So the thing about that is this: nobody confronts the person who brought up the lie. Everybody has just been shooting at Martin Luther King when it's convenient sense. Now, I'm not saying, so the point is, in our society, that becomes a problem. When, the lie can go for decades and nobody just addresses, hey man, who said that? And what I'm saying with these situations is the lie is entertaining for people, but then when you got to question who said that, then all of a sudden people get defensive. And that becomes to me, that's a problem with the whole rhetoric, because people have said things that were on point, and people have said blatant lies. But because we've liked people, we let the lies slide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, and you know what? And I'm gonna say this as a way to be short about this. Part of the problem with the same thing with the red pill, the same thing with the relationship stuff is there's an aspect of it, whether it's implied or said directly, that people talk about morality and ethics. You know, in the vetting process, in the people process, into why you should deal with somebody and why you shouldn't, because they have good or bad character. But then all of a sudden, if you have bad character, then the character don't count no more. You get what I'm saying? That's problematic, just in my opinion.
Okay, if you're referring to like a do as I say, not
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I will disagree if somebody is on that. Yeah, and I do think that Fresh and Fit are definitely on that. You know, they're on that, you know, don't lead with your wallet, don't do this, and you know, they do these things. You know, so yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
That's the basis of what I'm talking about. You know, like I can take old boy Cooley out, and in a sense of maybe you feel like he don't fit that profile, right?
Yeah, and I think that he's being crucified unjustly. Yeah.
Okay, and the reason he would be being crucified unjustly is because the people who went in that same wheelhouse before him, it makes him look just like them.
Fair enough.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't want to necessarily. It wasn't necessarily about him. I'm like, that's why I keep saying they were doing the same. It comes off as doing the same thing.
I can understand that. I do understand that, you know, if you know, you're constantly you know, being bombarded with what are they called, grifters, then you know, some people who aren't necessarily grifters may look like it because you've developed a filter that includes, you know, I mean, yeah, I can definitely understand that.
But the part of this is, you know, and you know, I ain't got a problem with no kind of disagreement. Part of the issue with the grifting that I meant earlier was, oh no, Snuggles, get out of here.
Yeah, Snuggles did that.
Yeah. The part of the issue with the grifter aspect is you have so much unoriginal content because I got you in 1 second, George. You got so much unoriginal content that exploded because people were just regurgitating somebody else's content. So as a content creator, especially in, you know, the Black Manosphere space or even the Red Pill space, or what, you know, being around all of that, as a content creator, I can see when I'm listening to somebody, you got that from them, that from them, that from them, that from them, that from them. Maybe your audience don't know, but I'm not hearing you at all. I'm hearing 4 or 5 other people. So now I'm sitting there like, this ain't really your content. This is just your show.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a collection of other ideas that's packaged in a way that's more profitable. Me being a vibrating chess piece could never, you know, accomplish what Fresh and Fit does. You know, people with a budget, you know, and a crew, and you know, a stream of beautiful women to come on the show. You know, so I could never reach that height being a vibrating chess piece. So I do get that. You know, and yes, if they do have some of my talking points, you know, or your talking points, or O'Shea's talking points, you know, I definitely, you know, do understand that. It's not something I'm completely happy with, but it's something I've come to accept with the understanding that at least my message is getting out. Kevin Samuels used to say that, you know, men want sex, submission, and sandwich. And you know where he got the sandwich.
I know. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
So
and yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, I was
I
like,
got you, George.
I gotta admit, I was like, you stole my,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I don't.
really, I'm like, okay, he has a much larger
So
platform than I would ever have, and my message is getting out through him.
I don't.
I don't really care where the check goes.
There's a part, and you know about this, where some people don't realize that. Give me 1 second, George. I'm gonna get right to you. And this is for the Black manosphere in particular. A lot of stuff that you guys see with these panels with men and women, the Black manosphere used to do it before it became a thing to do.
Right.
And that's why Kevin Samuels, was so prepared for what happened. That's why he could just see it coming a mile away, because he was already in that. You get what I'm saying? For years prior to even that show blowing up. People were, as far as the conversation with the women, people didn't realize that because they wasn't back then there. The thing is, and I hate to say it this way, but it's the best way I could say it. A lot of these relationship panels are set up with stereotypical people to get an emotional response out of y'all. That's why a lot of these conversations can't be had with different types of men and women, because these people aren't accustomed to being around different types of men and women. That's why you have, the club girls or the dudes that's just one, that's one dimensional. They don't really take this to multifaceted type of people, because it would kill some of these conversations and arguments. Because people aren't ready for that.
So, to a certain extent, I understand. But do you're familiar with Chantel Simone, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So, I was talking to her years ago, a couple of years ago, when Kevin Samuels was still amongst us, and she said that she was taking a trip to Florida and she was going to be on a show while she's there, and it was a surprise which show it's going to be. And first thing that came to my mind, like, wait, you're gonna go on Fresh and Fit, because she would be different. She would be a refreshing change to what they normally have on the show. And she said, no, I would never go on a show like that. I think that really, for them in that particular show, and perhaps this is true for Cooley as well, that girls who are more on the spectrum of Chantel just aren't gonna go, and they're kind of stuck with these personalities.
Yeah, but people like them, they did that they did that purposely. That, like, even and George, I got you. Just give me 1 second to say this. Even when Kevin had his show, he couldn't control what type of woman came on the show. True. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was just open. So when I see these aspects of these panels, I know from how it keeps coming up the same way. People are picking a team to elicit a response because, even let's use a Fresh and Fit as an example, you can only get that out of club girls.
Agreed.
You get what I'm saying? So I knew it was a biased conversation initially, because with them it was all club girls. I already know what this is. They're not going to have these conversations. Even the white guy Destiny, he's doing the same exact thing. You get it? It's the same thing, and it's like, here we go with this bull.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, like, what can they do? Because only club girls will go. I mean, that's
not true.
Yeah,
my bad.
They're making, like, listen, man, and L.A.R, you've been in this space a long time, and I came over from the pro-black side into this space around 2018, and it wasn't these talking points wasn't profitable in the black spaces, maybe in the white space, but not the black spaces. So a lot of these guys now that start making money off of, because it's turned into a show. They've taken the talking points and turned it into like a Jerry Springer show, where that's not what the talking points were supposed to be used for. It was used for black men to express themselves in a manner in which they could, because they didn't have platforms to express themselves. And they've taken it now and weaponized it against women and other men, where it's just turned into a shit show. It's not It's not being shown in a positive light in the manner in which it was intentionally supposed to be shown. So what happens is when you do that, you get grifters, because this is the thing. We all grown men. We don't have to make it real not difficult. I'll deal with the guy Cooley for a minute. Real simple, right? He's a product of the new generation that's grifting the old talking points, right? We know that he had a TikTok with over 2 million followers, but we know that a following on TikTok and a following on YouTube is two separate, totally different things, two totally different audiences. The reason why he's getting all the pushback now, right? And he came in the manner in which he came because he knew, had he would have came onto the platform saying, hey, I'm married to a single mom, just out the rip. When I first got with her, she had 2 kids. Knowing he was going to use the same red pill rhetoric, he would have never made it this far. He would have been getting the same pushback. So what he did was he pushed it to the back. Now, he didn't hide it because it was there on TikTok, but it's 2 different audiences. That's why he was never exposed in the manner in which he's exposed now. He knows this already. All of the other dude, the sharp dude, they all knew it. It became a grift. So what they're actually doing is taking the crap on the talking points. Because I remember coming into the space in the Sunday Rumbles and going on platforms battling a lot of the red pill guys. Until I start a lot of the application of it, I still disagree with it. But as a black man, some of the stuff they say I agree with. But so these were serious conversations that was being had about bettering black men and having better relationships. These guys then turned into a Jerry Springer show. So no, it's not. It's not funny. Fresh and Fit is a joke using those talking points. That's not what that red pill content was supposed to be about. That's a show where we're going to bring these women on here knowing we're going to get a response. We're going to use these talking points and we're going to make money all the way to the bank, and then get demonetized. So when you have the people that was bringing the talking points, it's made to look at when some of the talking points are real important that women need to hear, but they done turn it into a damn clown show.
Okay, there's a lot there. For one, I want to say that Cooley did on his Fugazi podcast mention that he was with a white woman and he was with a single mother, so he wasn't trying to keep the 2 separate.
But Game Changer, when did he do it? That's what I'm trying to say. Let's keep it all we real. Let's be honest. When did he do it, Cooley? I mean, Game Changer.
When did Cooley do it?
Yes.
That I don't know. What he did do.
Well, let me say this before you go any further.
Hold on.
He didn't come lead with it. I've been watching this guy for a while. Well, that's what I'm trying to say, Game Changer. I'm gonna land here. What he didn't do was when he came out using those talking points, knowing what he did, and now he's saying he's an exception to the rule. He didn't lead with that so people can get an outstanding understanding for why. He didn't give no explanations. He just came out, saw something that worked, and took it and ran with it. That's why he's getting the pushback from a lot of his own fans and a lot of red pill guys. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I mean, well, he didn't hide it. Let's just agree on that. He didn't hide it because he mentioned it casually, and the reason that he's getting pushback is because he was with a white woman, and he's with a white woman at present. And a lot of people, especially ones like yourself who come from the pro-black sector, don't like that. And I understand that. That's, but that's separate from, the red pill message. Now, I'm addressing the Cooley situation, but I want to move to the whole Jerry Springer aspect of it. The Jerry Springer aspect of it is, there is a lot of truth to that. And quite frankly, it's not that I completely don't care, but as long as the message is getting out. I'm a vibrating chess piece, and no one knows my name. Very few people like in my life, well, actually nobody has ever said you sound like Game Changer, when I'm walking around being myself. So my channel just isn't that popular. But also when I hear young men say stuff about it, they have become familiar with the concept, and the names they mention are Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, and I haven't heard anybody mention Fresh and Fit. Actually, no, I have in Fresh and Fit. So I mean, as long as they're getting the message, I'm not gonna say I don't care, but I am still happy that they're getting a message.
let me say this because I forgot about that. But even with Andrew Tate, right? Good speaking points, yada yada yada. But man, it's the same premise, you know. White people throw them under the bus. I don't. Hey, it's okay, white folks. It's like, bro, you can, because I've seen him talk about relationships, and I've seen him talk about the black community. And it's like, bro, but you basically a biracial baby daddy to multiple white people in a white country, and they tried to lock you up for this, but we're not gonna talk. We're not supposed to talk about that. That's the part that's supposed to go under the radar. Which let's just wink, and we know what it is. But it's like, no, if you're gonna be vocal one way, you got to be vocal both ways. And that's the part about the masculinity and manhood and red pill part that it's not about necessarily white women. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is, don't talk about masculinity when you're gonna kowtow to a different culture, because you can't even be a man on your own 2 feet as yourself. Now I'm a man. I'm 10 toes down in this culture, but I'm a tiptoe in that culture. But I'm gonna say this is about masculinity.
Where is he tiptoeing? He's not tiptoeing anywhere, not even in prison. No.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
See, this is okay. I remember before he went in and when he got out, right? He had interviews and this, that, and the third. And he wouldn't say specifically what it really was. And he would just allude to, you guys know what it is. And it's like, no, bro. Because prior to them interviews, you was so quick on telling people the truth. Then it became the Matrix and the people and the unknown and woo spooky boogeyman that we don't want to talk about. It was direct when it was black people. It becomes the Matrix and the spooky boogeyman when it comes white people, because I don't want to offend nobody.
Okay. Well, I think they just don't want to get arrested or liable for something, that he likely didn't do. Listen, I mean, and I'm not gonna, even classify Andrew Tate as black, or anything, because I honestly don't know. He's racially ambiguous.
He got a black dad and a white mom. He's born in Chicago.
I gotta call you out though, Game Changer, for something you said. Just for
I got you, cynical.
When you said that it was the pro blacks and people like me that was calling out Cooley, I gotta vehemently disagree with you, vehemently, because I'm gonna tell you why. Pro blacks don't really watch him. The pro blacks ain't really in the sector. He's getting called out by people that was following him. Red pill guys. I'm a content creator. I'm watching this. He's getting destroyed by red pill people and young red pill guys that got channels. They're wiping him out. They're the ones coming after him. It has nothing to do with just because she was a white woman. That's low hanging fruit that you can use. So, real quick, I'm gonna land here. I'm gonna land right here. If Game Changer, and you're not dumb, you're very intelligent. If you just look online and you look at these young men that are calling him out and making videos about him, none of them put up pro-black content. It has everything to do because he lied. He's not standing on the business of what he was preaching. That's why he's being called out. It has nothing to do with a white woman.
Okay, so it's not exclusive to pro-blacks that are calling him out. It is, however, when O'Shea calls him out, and he's the one that really sparked this, he's the one that really drove this, and then others followed suit, like Alvin Preach and stuff. I'm pretty sure that there's dozens of other young up-and-comers who want to take his place, who wants to take Cooley's place, who are definitely going to join on the bandwagon. There's a multitude of reasons, but it all stems from, not hypocrisy. It stems from the fact that he was with a white woman. Same thing with Jonathan Majors. I cannot
disagree, bro.
Let me say this. In the last few weeks, they had people kept uploading that clip of Fresh and Fit when it was like Fresh and Fit and Tommy Sotomayor and Walter. People always say, Walter don't speak, and Walter this, that, and the third. When Walter said, then the white people see that you're making a little bit of money, and then they want to use you, and you go, okay, and then you disparage black people and this, that, and the third, and then when you get silence or cancel, then you go, white people help me. And he be like, that's your fault, you dumb nigger. That's the and all of and even Tommy agreed, and then Myron's sitting there like a deer in headlights. So that's what I'm talking about as far even as the whole red pill and all the other content, even when it comes to the racial part of it. That was the main reason why the black manosphere didn't go to the manosphere, because it's like, nah, we see what y'all on.
Well, okay. I'm gonna say this, that though I do not, especially as for online purposes, classify myself as a pro-black, I will say that I'm not anti-black, and Myron is a buffoon. So
you're pro-black. Then you're pro-black.
Okay, that's fine. But once again, I'm saying for the sake of my channel and shows, I'm not. I don't classify myself as that.
No, hold that thought, because I'm gonna take that somewhere. But Cynical, you wanted to say something, fam? You got it.
Okay. All right. So first, good evening, everybody. How are we?
Good, bro.
What's that?
All right. So as far as a red pill, like losing it, I think it's just because it's only so many ways you can say, the same thing over and over again. And what we also have is a bit of a divide, because some of the guys that are listening to it are trying to improve, but in a lot of instances, it's situations of, just like on the ladies' end, you got guys that maybe got their feelings hurt, didn't do something right, and now they're upset because they got, I guess, nice guy syndrome. They feel entitled to a certain chick, a certain caliber of woman, and they don't really want to take accountability for their hand and the messes that come their way. Even some of these red pill talkers, they say it, this, back when I used to follow Donovan Sharp as an example, he said, this isn't a be all end all. And I remember around the same time he said that, I got to a point where I was like, okay, you know what? This dude's 200 pounds, 6 feet, looks good. And he's saying it ain't gonna work for him. I'm a regular dude. What am I finna go through all these hoops for? I need to just start trying to be myself a little more often. But that's just me. And then you got situations, like I said, the guys that don't want to take accountability. Now I named him Tommy Sotomayor. He consistently talks about the sisters, but at some point he doesn't stop and think, I'm the common denominator. I'm dealing with these women that got the same character traits that I'm on here talking about every other video. It's L.A.R. You played Tekken before. I don't know when you stopped playing it, but the way I can describe it is, you know how when you're playing as Brian Fury and you win and he's got that win pose where he's sitting on top of you punching you? They are doing that to the dead horse, repeating the same stuff over and over again. And unless they want to do a Yoda impression, they're not doing anything different. It's been out long enough. We've had enough time that we can try to learn and grow on our own.
You know what? I just thought about something that y'all. This is let me add 2 other people to this, right? Just because they own polar opposites. You remember when Saint and the Sinner and the Queen Maker had their debate?
Yeah, and he smashed her.
He smashed her in that debate. But if people looked into him, they'd say they can see his hypocrisy too. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the issue, like with this whole concept, is you have people on extreme sides who people gravitate to because they like them for whatever reason.
It fits their narrative.
You're right. Thank you. It fits their narrative.
And
so what winds up happening?
It's hard to take accountability.
Right. Yeah. So when people are extreme like that, that's the issue. Because now you so extreme that when your extremes get caught up, now all of a sudden, y'all here watching me. Forget what I did. Forget what I did. Forget what I said. Y'all
they can't check their ego.
And it's like, bro, and that goes into this whole relationship conversation that people are having, where at the end of the day, what everybody is really saying on these sides is, I want to be with somebody who's going to let me be 100% asshole with no accountability.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, so when somebody pushes back, like, nah, because if a man do it, it's a problem. If a woman do it, it's a problem. But the problem becomes, you can only go one way. The women can point at the men can point at the women. The women can't point at the women, and the men can't point at the men. Like, bro, that's some sucker shit. So it hurts the old concept of the red pill, in my opinion, because it's like, dog, If y'all want to talk about truth, can you be honest with your damn self? Vincent, my bad, bro. I'm gonna get you in a few.
Could I add something else to that, L.A.R.?
Yeah.
What you say that
LAR, you spot on.
Red Pill is not being honest about?
But LAR, you being spot on because what you're saying now, you sound like me in 2019.
Hell no, you a simp. Shut up.
No, yeah, I am a simp. I am part of the temptations. But you know, I'm a super simp. Black women, I'll be your bridge over troubled waters. Trust me. But but the reason why I'm saying that, if we go run the tapes and we go back to 2018, 19, before I understood what a lot of the red pill conversation was, I would come up and me and you and the rest of the red pill guys would go to war, right? For sure. And now we fast forward and we get a chance to see, because I'm saying some of the stuff that you guys were saying I didn't understand, but it was real. I'm upset with it now because they're actually making a mockery of it. Because you can see,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you can see now where a guy will say, well, she was an exception to the rule. But you on here saying that baby mamas is for recreational activities when you came out of a situation where you had to get custody of your child because you had situations with your baby mom. So then you went and signed off on a woman with two. So you are subject to criticism because of what you put out and how you paint yourself. You can't come in always, well, she's an exception to the rule. No, why you didn't lead with her? Why you didn't bring her on the show so people can see her and say, well, this is how I overcame this, my brothers. Now,
that's something else I wanted to add on too.
Let's go get that. Let's go get that.
You're moving the goalposts with that.
Hold on. Let's go have his point.
He does not have a mandate, to how much of his personal life to include in this. I don't include any of my personal life.
No, but listen, game changer.
Hold up. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna give it the cynical. It's hypocritical to say you're not in my personal life when part of these red pill conversations, especially with men and women, are people getting to each other's personal life to judge it.
No, I understand that.
You see what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is street media is putting a mandate. When he says stuff like he should have brought her on the show, there is no should. It's his show. He gave as much detail of his personal life that
he did not, bro. He did not.
And he is not a hypocrite. No, yes, he did. He did talk about his relationship.
Why he getting the pushback there? Why is he getting so much pushback then?
Hold up.
There's a number of reasons.
I'm gonna mute y'all for a second. Let Cynical get his stuff off because Vincent in the back chat. I want him to get in here.
Well, let me just say this. One reason why he's getting a pushback is one, people see the opportunity. They like, okay, if he goes down, I can take his place. These are up.
So all these people are stupid.
I didn't say all. Let me finish. That's why I was listing it as one. One, there's those people. Two, there's the pro-black people. Three, there are the people who.
It's no pro-black people watching.
It is pro. I just said O'Shea.
Then you say that one person. There's not a plethora of pro-black
person, and his audience,
it's his audience.
I think Ms. Parker's on the same crap.
But what I'm saying,
so that's two. Let me continue. And then three, there are people out there that black men who hate just to hate. This is Boondocks covered this mentality. It's called the nigga mentality. Or which leads to nigga moments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They just do it because they're niggas.
No. Let Cynical talk and speak.
I'll speak after he goes. All right, go ahead.
All right. So the other thing that I wanted to think about, and I believe one of you mentioned it earlier. Not necessarily as directly as I would have liked, but you did mention it. A lot of the time with the red pill, the pink pill, all these pills, people get caught up in generalizations. And at a time, they said it, the kids might have heard it, the next generation might have heard it. And so they took that rhetoric to heart. Girls are hearing boys ain't shit, boys hearing girls ain't shit. They got older, they brought that with them into their interactions. And it is only through experience, like I know I had to learn from experience, getting out and actually touching some grass. That's not how it works. Just because I had a lot of bad experiences with a select few doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's like that. Because I know like how the stereotype of sisters is, I done met some sisters who were in bad places. Like I got a picture of one that I met. She's no longer in this world. When I met her, she just had a situation where somebody took it. And there was also she had a child that didn't make it to their first birthday. And she had a lot of other stuff going on that she would have had every reason to not to mistreat me because of what other guys did, but she didn't. Same can be said with another couple young ladies. Whereas there are women who may have had a silver spoon in their life and they're just mean for no reason. And the same thing, with guys. Silver spoon, but complete prick to everybody around them. Whereas sometimes folks you meet in the lower places, they some of the coolest ones.
Okay.
Well,
hold up. I'm gonna pivot to say something real quick because I don't want to forget. One of y'all brought this up in a sense. One of the issues with this content, red pill, this relationship content now, in my opinion, is just part of being good at it is being anti-black. It's not like part of the model for making content is being anti-black.
Yep.
So
and Cooley is black. I agree.
Yeah, well,
I think I understand it, but just in case, could you break it down Barney style?
Yeah, like basically part of people's rhetoric is black people bad, black people trash, black people ain't this, black community ain't this, black culture ain't this. But if you go to this culture, it's completely different. And it's like, yeah. But then people keep getting caught up with these different cultures. And it's like, bro, I thought it was different. The same thing that happens to men, the same thing happens to the women. And it's like, well, if we talking about relationship content, why is it that you can't actually make relationship content without being anti-black? See, if you want to say we got issues and we absolutely got issues, great. But if you're gonna tell me we got issues and you're gonna go here, and here, and I'll say, okay, what's the issues there, and there, and you go, I don't know.
Ooh, L.A.R. That's well timed. Now that I think about it, because if they're making posts about relationships, like I remember I found your page, then Solo TV's, then Donovan's, and then a bunch of other folks. Then I'm back down to just watching you out of all those guys now. Now
I don't even make content like that no more. These people getting on my damn nerves.
It's depressing. Turn it on, seeing the same thing. Like y'all ain't sick of snapping at each other like a pack of wild dogs yet. God damn. But I stumbled onto one of your clips from like 10 years ago. Now, I don't know if I would necessarily consider you a relationship page, but here you are in a relationship. Because I remember you said in one of the previous videos, you didn't necessarily have the highest opinion of marriage, but fast forward, you're married now. You in a relationship and you ain't on here talking all this bullshit like a lot of these guys and these chicks are.
I'm a goddamn hypocrite.
I don't know if I can call you a hypocrite for that. That just means you found somebody exceptional. And unlike a lot of these people,
that's what the red pill.
I'm saying, like right. Exactly. I'm saying from some of the content, because I try to make content that goes a bunch of different things. But when it comes to stuff like that, a person can say, man, I watched that back in the day, and you just a goddamn, and I could go, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite on that. I'm not gonna tell. This is what I'm not gonna do to you, cynical. You saw that? Let me ask you a question. Who's your favorite team?
Let's see, football. I grew up in a Steelers household, but
see, hold up. See right there, because you grew up in a Steelers household, you probably like Russell Wilson, and that makes you a simp by proxy. So you calling me a hypocrite is really out of pocket. You're not smart enough to call me a hypocrite. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that shit.
But L.A.R., hold on. L.A.R., check this out, right? I'm going to tell you why you can't be a hypocrite. I'm going to explain it to you why. The reason why you can't be a hypocrite, because when over the years, when you was using the red pill, you wasn't using a red pill from an anti-black perspective. You was using a red pill to educate other black men on how to move, how to think. They were spaces where brothers didn't have spaces to express themselves, or they were going through certain issues with women and didn't know how to express themselves. So those talking points at that time was vital. The problem that I have with these guys is they're leading a certain way. So now what happens is that young man's his audience has turned on him because he created a big platform where he was leading, talking about single moms. So now when you analyze this, he says, well, I got custody of my child, and then I met a woman, right? He said he met a woman and he gave this woman a chance that was a 2-time single mother. So this is so now what they're doing is, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, I'm dealing with the content he put out and what they're saying to him. You're being now enemy to your message because you told us not to, based off of many different mitigating factors. But then he said L.A.R. was, well, she was an exception to the rule. People took umbrage with that.
Let me say this, Vincent, you got it. I'm gonna say this and then you got it, bro. Part of these issue is, and well, I can say this across the board. I really can say this across the board. I'm not even going to do the interracial thing. Part of the issue, people look at it as hypocrisy because you told me I would be unhappy if I was in this type of situation, and now your life says you're happy in this same type of situation. Right. It's the same thing when women talked about, feminism and white women, and then all of a sudden white women married and black women like, don't know, I ain't got no man. It's the same thing. Yep. You get what I'm saying? So, but let me back up, and then Vincent, you got it. Even what you said about me not being hypocritical, for me, that's not the point. The point is, if I can be viewed as a hypocrite, I should be able to see it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, Vincent, you got it, fam.
What it do? What's up, big brothers, big cousins? I'm happy I fell into the cool part of internet. I'm appreciative to be here. I like the subject that we're talking about. I just got in, but I kind of could intuitively tell we're talking about a whole bunch of effery and hypocrisy, and we're talking about fugazi being fugazi.
It was about more than him, but he wound up being a.
Yeah, we landed on that, but it's good that we're here. One of the first times I heard the word hypocrisy, I was like 9 years old. I ain't gonna tell a life story. I'm just giving a little memory, and that's like the biggest word I heard at the time. It was basically, you're saying one thing but you're doing another. And I think that, when it comes to what we're talking about how to navigate the world and navigate things, I think a good testament of character is really being yourself and being genuine. And I think a lot of people get up on the internet and they perpetrate fraud and try to be cool for the money, for the looks, or the other stuff, and it hurts other people. It's very very, very selfish. It's very ugly. It's very egotistical. And again, that's why I said I led with I'm happy I fell into the cool part of this part of the space, because I'm grateful I'm around a lot of people who don't got a lot of kick it. We're talking genuine experiences, genuine opinions, understandings, and stuff like that. And it's like kind of like a take it or leave it. I'm not gonna name drop, but I came in on the more misogynistic side of the red pill, and I'm happy, it got balanced out by two young black men from Texas who talked about a variety of things. They talked about as much as they can about being simps, healthy masculinity, sexuality, and then I end up here. But I think that for what it's worth, there is value in the conversations that we're having, at least where we at right now and stuff like that. As for other places, I can't say for sure, because I think a lot of people are trying to, I guess, I don't know, recreate themselves or whatever, when they can just like be themselves and grow from there. And then we get people like, Cooley, I guess, who just hypocrites saying one thing and doing another. Like, if you like dealing with baby mamas and BBLs, just say that and just go from there. And just flow from where you are. But then when you get caught up trying to be someone else, and you get found out to be someone else, like that's all on you.
No, I'm gonna say something.
And he said that you don't have a BBL. Okay.
My bad. I'm gonna say something, and y'all this is not about to be a conversation with L.A.R. because I'm more mild mannered. I'm gonna be me, the person that y'all don't know, because I be really censoring myself online. Here's the thing. It's a reason why we having these relationship issues is because people's egos of being assholes is always in the mix. And this becomes a problem on both sides. And the reason why it's a problem is this. And everybody gonna know exactly what I'm talking about as I play this out. Have you ever been around somebody who had an idea and they went 10 toes down with that idea and it was dead ass wrong and they was an asshole about it, but they didn't know they was wrong? And then time goes by and then they come to an understanding of, oh shit, I was really out of pocket. That whole ideology I had was completely wrong. And then they go, hey, how you doing? And you go, man, fuck you.
Get the hell out of my face before I break your goddamn neck. Because
you done spent a year, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years going this path. And now you just realized it was dead wrong, but that don't erase all the sucker shit you was doing the whole time. And just because you got a new ideology today, don't mean
you forgot.
I'm gonna let all that shit slide. So this is why when I say, that's what's really killing the red pill. That's what's killing the relationships, because you got the women on that shit. I'm feminist, and now I'm 35 and I woke up. Wait a minute, bitch, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then you got the guys, on that, hey man, she's been, I'm a high value man. I'm a masculine man. She's a 304. She's beneath me. But you fucking these same chicks. And then you wake up one morning, I'm looking for a traditional woman. And bitch, fuck you too.
Man, look.
Yep.
See, so, you can't play the role of a pimp and a hoe all day and then want to wake up one morning all holy and sanctified.
Yes,
fuck all that.
L.A.R. Yes, you can online. You can. No, you know what? L.A.R. Look, you know why? Because you know what I found out? I found out years ago, coming off of Sinetta channel, coming off the pro-black side. I found out that online you can be the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, as long as you can create a character. And Charleston White showed us this because he's been holding the mirror up. See, one thing about Charleston White, right?
Hold up, George, because you didn't unleash me just now by saying that.
You unleashed me too.
No. See, here's one of the major problems that I should have said earlier. All these people who blew up on these channels with the rhetoric, no matter how fake it was, they just a representation of y'all fucking fake asses.
Yes. Yep.
See, that's why you gravitated to it, because you full of shit too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You magnetize what you want.
So when your full of shit hero get exposed for being full of shit, you think I'm not talking really about the people. The people are just a part of how the principle breaks down. What it is a lot of you people gravitate to ain't shit people because you ain't shit, and you trying to point at somebody else for not being shit
while they're having an existential crisis over it.
It's like hell no.
The mirror and shit.
And remember, a lot of these guys, like I use Charleston White as an example to bring my point. To me, he's holding the mirror up to the community because he's telling you, yo, I'm going in character because this is what you niggas like. So I'm gonna give you what you like. So when we transpose it down to, I'll go back to this Fugazi situation because that's the hot topic, right? Let's just say he came out and he said, well, I had this. You know what he didn't do? He wasn't loud enough because this is being proven now. He wasn't loud enough. As loud as he was. Wait a minute, a game changer, because I know you want to defend him, but I'm just dealing. I'm dealing specifically with what we see. That's it. No, I ain't gonna add nothing to it, take nothing away. As loud as he's been with the rhetoric that he's been promoting, he wasn't loud enough to let his fans, a lot of people that follow him, have an outstanding understanding for what he was actually doing. So when people started exposing it, this is what you got. This is what you got. So, and what I'm saying is these people, they come and they create characters. So you had a lot of people coming in now that didn't know that was really following him based off of what he was putting out every day. And when the information really came out tonight, people are upset because we live in the world today. Me, L.A.R., I don't know how to game changer. We're a little older. We live in a world where we didn't have social media. This generation, they live on social media. So a lot of these younger people, they live by what these guys say. So now when it comes out that he's not living up to the message that he was putting out that they was hearing, now you get the problems that you get. But again, these people are in character.
I think that
real quick though.
Let game changer get it.
I think that those people are interpreting the situation, the worst way possible. because they like to see brothers being taken down. It's just that simple. Listen, you ever been on the school ground, there was a fight, and it was a tie, but some people say, this person won, some people say that person won. It all depends on how you like the person. That's all that's going on right now. They've seen an opportunity to take down somebody that they don't like, and many brothers are, clamoring on. It's a dog pound. They see the opportunity to do that. I'm not that type. I don't look for when brothers are down. I try to compound on that. I don't do that. I try to uplift brothers, whenever I can. And in this particular situation, I think that I should, because dude didn't do anything wrong.
Let me say this, because you sparked the idea. I think people who are inactive and people who are active take in the same information differently. And that's been a premise of a lot of this relationship shit, because you have people who are sedentary, who just homebodies, taking in the same information as people who are outside. And it don't apply the same. They don't apply it the same because they're not interactive like that. And people who are outside, it don't apply the same because they're not in the house like that. Because a lot of this shit is really, and I hate to say it this way, it's the only way I could say it, even with the people who people gravitate to. It's a lot of relationship advice from niggas and bitches who don't leave the fucking house.
Yep.
So, and that go for the white niggas and bitches too. They don't leave the fucking house. It's a theory and it's a fear-based. I'm going through trauma and I don't want to be in anything toxic and everybody's to hurt me and I need therapy. Bitch, you never left the house. You don't need none of that therapy. The only problem is you. Exactly. So now you have these people giving people information about what can possibly happen in the world instead of what's actually happening in the world.
Ooh. What's funny about you saying that too, L.A.R? About people taking things differently as far as being active and inactive. So there's a book I read a while back, Verbal Judo, Gentle Art of Persuasion, written by George J. Thompson and Jerry B. Jenkins. And in the book, he mentions like 80% of all conversations are not exactly interpreted correctly. So you might very well be onto something there. And even if they interpret it correctly, they still take it differently. So
like some Game Changer said, like Game Changer don't see nothing wrong with this, and I can understand it. I can understand what he's saying. I really do. The only thing that sometimes I have umbrage with is the principle of that. And what I mean is there are people in the world who can't understand why somebody sees something wrong in something, but when it's done to them, then it's wrong.
All of a sudden they get it. Yep.
That's the whole premise of a lot of this hypocrisy. It's like, okay,
it has been done to me.
Huh? No. I'm not talking about you personally. Though.
He's saying in general. Like example, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
So like if I use Debo from Friday and Next Friday as an example, goes around robbing people, beating on people, he's all fine and dandy. But when Craig got to whooping that ass one time, Debo was ready to pull a strap on him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is what this is for me. This is what this whole thing is up against. We're up against the conversation. And let me just be extreme. Hey man, if you got your shit together as a man, you could cheat all day long. That's just her problem, right? That's what we're gonna say. But guess what? If she cheat on you, that bitch is trifling. Shut your whole ass up. It don't go that way. That's not how it works out in real life.
If you can't take,
So on the opposite side, girl, if he got money, you gonna get with him. You gonna use him for everything he got. You get with somebody like that, I guarantee you, he gonna take that as disrespect. And he gonna handle you like you disrespectful. So you're not a victim here.
Hey, can I say something too, L.A.R?
Yeah. Well, I think that a woman cheating is far different than a man cheating.
Well, let me say this though. Based off of what L.A.R just said, I got to keep it all the way 100 because I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna push it right back to Fugazi again. If you come out, watch this Game Changer. And you might agree with this. I don't know Game Changer personally at all. I know him from being online. I don't know what he do in his personal life. who he dates, who he dated in the past. I don't know any of that. Only thing I know is what me and Game Changer, we had conversations, interactions, disagreements, agreements in the past online, right? I know him from online, L.A.R, everybody. So when Cooley comes online and he builds an audience based off the rhetoric that he's using, but then you see that he has something diametrically opposed to what he's teaching, the people don't know him. They're only now going by, they just trusted his word. But when your word is diametrically opposed to your life, now he may be telling the truth. Hey man, this girl was good, and nobody knows that. Only he's being held accountable to the rhetoric that he actually spoke of people, because they know him from online, from the things that he's been talking about. So I've been married for 23 years, but people don't know how good my marriage could be or what type of father I am. They don't know any of that. They know me from being online. So if you teach online that single moms are for recreation activity, single moms are this, single moms are that, and then we found out that you is with a single mom that you've been with all these years and you're not married to her, and you had a baby and you had problems with her, and then they're going to hold you accountable because they don't know you. They're holding you to your message. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, once again, like how his situation can be interpreted, depends on the interpreter. And if you interpret it like, okay, this is a guy who said something about high value man, which he was not, and he didn't hide his marriage and things like that, then you can interpret it like, hey, there's no violation. But if you want to say he's a hypocrite, I think that, and maybe this is your case and maybe not, I think that people are doing that because they don't like him or they don't like what he did.
I got it. Either
way.
I got it. Anybody on here a boxing fan?
Somewhat, yeah.
I like watching the fights, but
okay. Roberto Duran is one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Guy?
Huh?
Okay. Okay.
But when Roberto Duran hit the no miles, he was a bitch for years. They threw out everything he did prior to that. Hands of Steel was out of the window. It was out of the window because he's like, dog, you quit. You was a bitch. Now he had to fight to get his reputation back over the years after that. You get what I'm saying? Because
I get what you're saying.
It was a scarlet letter. You get it? So when it comes to this
character
stuff,
scar.
Right.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, amongst the people that was calling him a bitch were people that just like calling people bitches. Because they're jealous or what have you. They're jealous of his talent. They know that they cannot achieve what he achieved. No matter what, those people exist and those people are annoying.
But you gotta admit, they were also, and I now say this, I wouldn't say fighters would call them, those would be fans, but people who fought, they couldn't respect that though. He had to gain their respect back because of the way that went on. He didn't get beat to the point he couldn't get up. He just was like, I'm done with this. You get what I'm saying? So even your peers, when you put yourself in a situation where your peers can't respect what you're doing, that's got to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, there may be an issue there.
I get it. Some of those are genuine. Some of those were genuine, and some of those were just, they don't like the guy. I mean, there's real human emotions going on with some of those people who were hating on him just because. And those are okay. Remember that scene from New Jack City, and Nino Brown, stabbed Kareem Akbar in the hand. It's like, yeah, part of it was he messed up for bringing Pookie into the mix, but part of it was what he said. I never liked you anyway, pretty motherfucker. And that's what's going on with Cooley.
Right.
I mean, y'all could
I disagree.
But hold on. But using that same analogy, when the pressure was on Nino, he bitched out. He bitched out.
Okay, fair
he talked all that gangster shit, and then when it was time, I bitched out. It's him. It's not me. He bitched out.
Kareem,
I mean, yeah, he threw Kareem. He don't like Kareem.
I don't care. It's not about him not liking Kareem. It's about, if you're gonna be what if you're gonna say you are this and you're gonna be that, he was like using that as example. He was a gangster when he was killing people. He was a gangster when he was fucking his friend's old lady. But when it's time to catch a charge, it's him. It's not me. I'm going.
Yeah,
no.
Well, nobody wants to catch charges. I'm just saying, in the movie that was written by Mario Van Peebles, who knows about these things. I think he was deliberately writing Nino's character as one of these secreted, I don't like light-skinned people.
That could be fine.
But I'm just saying, like, a lot of people catch flaks for different reasons. Like what they appear in this whole, Cooley is a hypocrite thing. Just keep it a buck. He didn't like this just because.
I'm about to say something, Gabe, change it that is so cold-blooded.
All right, say it.
We live in an era where people are really offended by stuff that don't exist as much as they think. Like, and it could be me, because I get what you're saying. Like, I even hear the colorism stuff all the time. And part of it is like, y'all want to know why colorism is such a big deal now? Because a lot of y'all think like girls. That's why. That it has really nothing to do with men and masculinity. It's, when people talk about women being raised by single mothers, that's a problem. That's part of the problem. But also the part of the problem is you got all these overly sensitive people who are looking for a reason to say people don't like them. And sometimes the reason why people don't like you is valid. And sometimes the reason people don't like you is because they just ain't shit. And they're jealous.
Exactly. And I'm saying that there's both going on with Cooley. There's a lot of ain't shit people that just seen this as an opportunity to join.
The
Cooley train. That's what I'm saying.
I get it, but I will say something about that though.
And I'm calling those people out. That's what I'm doing.
You could do whatever you want, but I can tell you something about, and I hate to say this, but in my opinion, it's 100% honest. You can also say a person like Cooley's a hater because he's just taking other people's information for profit.
Well, I think he's a businessman and an entertainer. I don't know. Okay, well, who's he hating in this regard? In this regard?
I want to, and I don't want to use just him in general. There are people who made red pill content, right? And let me just say, they would be the Notorious Big. And then there are people who makes this new kind of content. They would be Gorilla Black. And they want you to say, I sound like this. I'm saying the exact same thing. I got this quote unquote same flow, but I'm different.
Like Ghostface Killer and the fat white guy.
Oh yeah, Bronson.
Yeah,
like,
Action Bronson.
Okay, let's take Elvis Presley, right? Elvis Presley, we all know what he's about, what he did, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, does that mean he hate black people? I wouldn't classify him as a hater. I classify him as a, what is that, perjury?
Yes, he's a hater.
Yes.
He was.
Did he hate black people, or did he
just,
or was he just opportunist?
Yes.
Like the rest of that ignorant ass racist, he liked to steal credit for the shit we did and then turn around and say fuck us.
Let me say this. No. Let me tell you.
For profit. Okay.
No. Okay. Slavery was for profit. It was for hate.
Yeah, and not, well, I don't know. Like, I mean, did the Portuguese?
Let me say, if you, okay, it's the same thing as plagiarism. If I wrote a book and my book didn't sell, and you took my book and put a new title on it, and that book sold, and I caught you in this shit, and you just go, I don't hate you. I'm just gonna, take your stuff and I'm successful from you. Yeah, and I'm gonna act like you don't exist. That's fucking hate.
It's because you like stuff.
That's hate.
I'll give another example, right? We all know what Mark Zuckerberg did to the Winklevoss twins. We all know. We all heard the story and stuff like that. Did he hate them, or did he just seen an opportunity to get rich?
That's hate.
He didn't. I don't think he hated. I don't think he was like, I never liked you tall niggas anyway. I think that he just seen an opportunity to make money.
This is what I'm about to say as an example. And I'm using these examples you made. This is what I mean by when it comes to white people, all of a sudden we change the rules. It's fucking hate. It's fucking hate.
All right.
If let me do it your way. If Mark Zuckerberg did it to two light-skinned twins, would it be hate?
I mean, if he said, I never liked you anyway, pretty motherfuckers, then yeah, it would be hate. But if he didn't say that, it did not. He just seen
if
an
you steal a
opportunity to make
person's life work,
L.A.R., I got
or
one.
the money or the money from their life work, that ain't because you like them.
L.A.R., I got one.
No, but it's because you like money.
I got an
Okay.
example. Game changer.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to get reparations. We're not supposed to think about slavery because that's a long time ago, but we are frequently used for target practice. And yet we're supposed to remember 9/11.
I'm with you.
That's hate.
Yeah. Oh, do I understand that hatred towards black people exists? Absolutely. You get no argument with me on that.
Like,
if that's what you're asking.
Like part of what you said earlier, and I should have brought this up another time. Even when Kevin was alive, people were saying, "Yo, he's stealing my content, right? He's taking my content." You know what the interesting part? Right. You know what the interesting part about that is?
Can I guess?
The bigger he got, the more you could say, "Man, he ain't giving me my credit." But when it's other people doing the exact same shit, somehow they don't get that type. They don't get that same response. What's the difference?
L.A.R., can I ask you a question? Because I know you'll answer this the right way. Based off of everything, right? When Cynthia G's allegations came out that with all the rhetoric she was putting out, she came out, she got pregnant by the boy, right? And she got held accountable vehemently. She was held accountable, right? What's the difference? Watch this, and I know, watch this. Just because he's a man, what's the difference between him, what he did, what he got going on, and what Cynthia G did? Because we don't know them personally.
That was my point about this whole concept.
Yeah, what's the
both
difference?
of these sides are doing the same thing.
He ain't do nothing no different than Cynthia G. So if Cynthia G got pushback, then he deserved to get the same amount of pushback.
But see, and let me say this, and I'm not
tell you the difference, but
wrap too tight when I have to say this. When we have to argue about character because I like one person more than another or one gender more than another, that's a character flaw.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea that,
that is not
right is right when I like you and wrong is wrong when I don't like you, that's part of all of these issues. I don't give a damn. Look, I don't give a damn about what goes on with old boy, and I don't give a like everybody. They got their channels. They're gonna grow. They're gonna make money. Because let's just be honest with YouTube, having a scandal rarely stops anything.
Mm-hmm.
It rarely stops anything because and I'm gonna say this so disrespectfully. The internet is for people who ain't got shit to do. And that's why a lot of people on the internet all goddamn day long. It takes away from you actually doing something with your life. So the reason why all this ignorant shit can keep going on, because ignorant people ain't got shit to do.
But perpetuated.
People who got more of a life, they ain't got time for this shit. That's why these relationship conversations can't really be balanced out, because the people that can balance it out, they ain't got time for this shit. Not the relationship conversation. They just ain't got the time. You got to catch them on the right time. They got stuff to do. They're not going to be on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube all goddamn day.
They getting money or in meetings and talking to people and moving.
And the only thing I'm saying is these people here, I don't know these people personally. So, and see, this is the thing can't be refuted. Like I said, I don't know. I've never hung out with anybody on this platform in person. Never. For years, I've known people on the platforms. So nobody knows how I met my wife. Nobody knows how I fathered my children. Nobody knows none of that. So what I'm saying was people didn't like Cynthia G for the polarizing stuff that she would put out about black men. right? She wasn't liked. So when her allegations came out, man, she was destroyed for it, rightfully so. But so now when I flip it, it's people that like him, it's people that don't like him. We don't know anything about how he got with his woman. We just got to believe what he say. But I'm holding you accountable based off the information that you was putting out. I don't know you to trust you just because you said she's an exception to the rule. Why would I give you that grace? For what? I don't have to give you that grace. And that don't make me a hater. That don't make other people haters because they don't want to give him that grace. They don't know him personally. They only know him based off of his message that he was putting out. Where I come from, the era, I'm 49, the era I come from, you was held accountable by what come out your mouth and your actions, man. Period.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do the Cynthia G thing with you. I don't like Cynthia G, and I didn't like her well before the whole Robert Perkins thing came out, the baby scandal or whatnot. So yeah, that is something that hasn't changed, and perhaps my view on the situation, which I really didn't talk about much, but my view on the situation was skewed by the fact that I didn't like her. And the same thing is happening to Cooley now. People are coming at him, like I said before, because they don't like him. They don't like what he did. And I'm gonna be honest, and this goes double for some of the shorter brothers in the world. They just don't like what he is.
I think
I disagree, Game Changer.
You didn't speak to my point.
I do.
But Game Changer,
hold on.
real quick, Vincent.
That's just his point of view, though.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is, you missed the point that I made. You went totally another way. Game Changer. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not dealing with whether we like them or don't like them. That's not what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with I don't know them. So when Cynthia G came online and she started talking about bullet bags and black men this, and she got pregnant by a black man that had a bunch of kids by already a bunch of women, rightfully so, whether I like her or not, she was held accountable for that.
Well, so now she's not a hypocrite.
Right. So this is what I'm saying though. So okay. all I'm gonna do is flip it. When I flip it, I don't know him. I'm not dealing with whether I like him or not. So what I'm saying is, I'm not dealing with who likes him or who don't. If he's
from what you know about him, you don't like him.
Huh?
I said from him, from what you know about him, you do not like him.
No.
Let me do this.
I don't know
you do
him.
not like his girlfriend.
Let me do this.
You don't like his mulatto kids.
No.
Hold up.
You do not like him.
I don't know him not to like him.
Yes, you do. You know enough about him to not like him.
No.
Gentlemen, not to be rude, but L.A.R. is trying to talk.
No, that's all good. It's all good. I get it.
Listen, Game Changer, what I'm trying to tell you. And you're not dumb. You understand everything I'm saying. I'm not dealing with what's like or dislike. I'm dealing with he's coming down saying, well, I did this. And I can say, well, I don't know you to trust your word. I'm holding you accountable based by the red pill content you put out.
No.
I think you're using that as a veil.
I'm about to be extreme when I say this.
I hear you. I just don't believe you. I think that you're using this as a veil. I think that you don't like him because you do not like interracial relationships. You don't like him. No. You don't like his mixed kids. You don't like his
That's none of my business.
Here's where I'm gonna take this.
Not liking it.
Here's where I'm gonna take this.
I ain't like interracial relationships, and you want to take him down for being in one. Stop
check
hiding behind the veil of impartiality.
No, that's the interesting thing. That I'm glad you said that, because this is where I'm gonna meet the middle and be extreme on both of these things. Game Changer, you're absolutely right. Some people don't like people for whatever obscure reason it is, and they just want to go in and throw them under the bus whenever they get a chance. They could be the avatar for their jealousy. I get it. George, you absolutely right. When you don't know somebody and you see them being a complete hypocrite to what they say, you like, dog, I don't know you, but I know you on some bullshit because I know this and this don't match. The reason I'm saying that is this. You know how I see this play out right now? This is no different than Diddy. Because now what we basically talking about that keeps happening is somebody gets caught in a scandal, people come out of the woodworks and say shit that didn't exist or did exist. It's either one or the other. When shit don't exist, people say shit and just people run with it because I don't like them. Yeah. When people got evidence of something happening and they go, look, you see this? This is why I don't like him right here. So when it comes to these whole relationship context, I'll say half the time people just go with a lie because they don't like a person. The other half of the time, people got evidence, and you can't refute it.
I agree. I wouldn't say against Cooley the evidence is irrefutable. And I do think that the pushback that he's getting, because hypocrisy at this point, given the circumstances, is a judgment call. And I think that people are judging a certain way based on their dislike for him.
I disagree.
That TikTok did him no justice.
Hey,
well, it was weird, but it wasn't like terrible. And
that is terrible.
Can I flow real quick?
No, go ahead. My bad, Vince. You got.
I'll say this. I disagree because I was actually fond of dude. Me and him are peers in age. I'm in my 30s, stuff like that. And it's not whether I liked him or not. I appeal to some of the things he was saying, even though it's controversial and things like that. But I'm old enough to be young when y'all was in y'all 20s and stuff like that. So I adopted a lot of y'all sentiments about being genuine, being who you are, being accountable for what you say, and your words, who you are, and things like that. You represent who you are by how you act and behave. So when he started, being inconsistent by that one thing that happened to things like that, it really changed my attitude towards him and how, my respect towards him. Because it's like, okay, I'm sitting here saying, baby mama's this, don't do this, that, and the third. You carrying a woman, you know what I mean? You making them, you know what I mean? He made thick shorty cry on the internet. She was kind of cute. So that right there for me was kind of like, man. But then it's like when he, is living one way but saying another thing, it's not a matter of whether I like you or not. It's a matter of your character and how you posture yourself out here, where there are younger people out here who are Zoomers and stuff like that, trying to, get how they live and try to get some game and learn how to navigate women and stuff like that. And you saying one thing and you live in one way, that's like saying, never mind. No, don't believe your lying eyes. Don't think about what I'm doing. Pay attention to what I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you this as a millennial.
Let Game Changer go, George. Let him go, because I'm about to start shutting it down in a few.
Thank you. Let me ask you this as a millennial. Do you classify yourself as a high value man?
I mean, I could be, probably, depending on how much money I got.
Okay. As a possibly classified high value man, do you think that single mothers are for recreational use only?
I mean, no. I think for me, a woman with a child is a liability, but I don't think it's just recreational use. I mean, it depends on circumstance or relationship as well. I mean,
so you disagreed with that particular point of view that he had, but you still liked his show, right? You still.
I think some of the things he said was significant, but I think, some of the things he said, he contradicted himself by, that thing he said was like, because he's not the only person who said that. He's not the first person. He's not very revolutionary when he said that. I guess that goes into the plagiarism part. But if you're saying something, you're co-signing something, but you also embody that, it's like, it's like my uncle saying, don't drink, and you're a drinker, and it's like, nigga, what?
I don't know who Coach Prime is.
Deion Sanders.
Okay, so well, okay, I see what you're saying. Listen, it's too much of this going on. Like Bill Cosby, for example, I can't stand people that come down on Bill Cosby. I mean, because to keep it a buck, they just hate him because of his whole spiel to the black community. That's what it came down to. That's why the judge unsealed his records illegally. It's all that,
I mean,
people see
I'm not gonna lie. I when we talk about like and not like, I like Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans, and they said what he said to him, and then you gotta remember that's your generation right there. Marlon Wayans and them is like around your age. They are. They're to me, they're icons of y'all culture, of your age. So when he told them you have to dress like this and do it like this, like, man, we ain't doing that.
Oh shit.
I'm about to tell y'all
catering
something.
To the people of your age, but no, I get what you're saying.
Let me do that. Let me do that for a second This is the issue, and I'm using like you said, the Bill Cosby and the Marlon and Shawn Wayans thing, and this is for a reason. people could say, okay, I don't want to hear what you're saying because you're flawed. I know about you in the business, right? But then here's the flip side of that. A lot of the same people, they're just a new age of flawed.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, I heard you did X, Y, and Z. But think about the people you seeing now, all the shit that they said they didn't done, that it's all good. Oh, he was on drugs. Bitch, you on drugs all the time. Oh, but it's different. My kind of drug is different from those drugs back in the day. I don't want to hear this shit. Oh, they out here, they don't like Bill Cosby, because Bill Cosby was drugging chicks. Oh, but now everybody who loved Diddy parties, now I was never at the Diddy party. It wasn't me. I don't know nothing. I never seen nothing. It's like, listen, nigga, you gonna have to be honest about how this either shit's going down or it's not. And where we have an issue with is so many people are complicit with the bullshit when it's convenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's hard to believe anybody.
It's not convenient for me.
I'm not talking about you personally, Game Changer.
No, I agree that those people exist. What I'm saying is, when it comes to Cooley, this is a dog pound. This is a witch hunt. Brothers don't like what he did and what he's doing and what he's probably doing and who he's probably doing right now. They don't like that. So, they're dog pounding them. They're railroading him. Same with Cosby. Every chance they get to take, they know that this dude Cosby's not about that.
But listen, he wouldn't have been in the situation in the first place if he was genuine in the first place.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let me say something that's just cold blooded. Yeah. Let me just say something that's cold blooded. Even with him and him, all of them other dudes. But let's just use Cooley for an example. Deep down, people go, I don't think Cooley would have done this shit if it was a black woman. Because that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. If he talked all this shit because he got a white chick with 2 kids, but if it was a black woman with 2 kids, he'd be like, absolutely not. That's how it comes off.
Probably. I mean,
so it's like,
but
it does come. Okay, I can see why it does come off like that. That still wouldn't make him a hypocrite, but that would be a reason that people don't like him.
Game changer. Both sides of the argument. Game changer. Taking both sides of the argument.
I'm just going with an extreme of what Game Changer is saying, because in my opinion, people, unfortunately, when we had these relationship conversations in our community, and this is where I talked about it earlier, it's anti-black in the sense of it's wrong if it's black people doing it.
Yep.
And even with this situation, if the current girlfriend was a black woman, let me say it this way, because I got offended by the TikTok thing. So let's just say if the woman was African and they decided to do the TikTok with the black Santa or African Santa, right? And the kid chose an African Santa, and then he as a dad would go, "That's my kata." You want to tell me somebody wouldn't have a problem with that shit?
That'd have been a problem.
It depends on.
Well, no. Yeah. Game changer. You playing both sides, bro.
No, I'm not playing both sides. Hear me out. It depends on if that's a word that they use both as a pejorative, that some groups of people use as a pejorative, and other groups use it as a term of endearment. So it would depend in that regard, but
Game changer.
I don't think that you should call any child a thing that's solely a pejorative.
No, because even under that circumstance, even when people use something as a pejorative and a term of endearment, they don't do it in mixed company.
On camera, on live.
Yeah, that's not something that people are cool with. That's somebody who's pushing the envelope at that point.
So when DMX say my nigga, that's not mixed company. Like, it is a very public thing that he was saying. I mean, we use this is mixed company. Like anything that's broadcast.
So did he do it to his kids? No. Yeah, no. Did you ever see him do it with his kids? He's been on interviews with his kids.
Oh, that's why I say it was crazy.
And he's got kids that are mixed.
No, that's why I say that it was cringe. I mean, you know, like I say, I never claimed to like that.
With that being said,
right quick, I never
Okay,
claimed to like that. And if we got on here and the whole discussion was, you know, hey, you know, niggas shouldn't be calling their kids niggas in front of white people, I'll have a completely different tone. But we're not having that. It's all about him being a hypocrite and this, and this, you know, and a single mom.
But I was dealing with. I was coming from that whole perspective. I just didn't get into. I just put it all in one bunch. But let me say this though. To Vincent, how old are you, bro?
I'm 32.
You saying makes my son. So watch this, Vincent. Let me ask you a question. Based off this argument, based off this conversation we had.
Right.
If you met me based off of some stuff you saw me doing, the things word of mouth. You heard about me. You came out to see me, right? And then you saw me. You saw like my lifestyle be diametrically opposed to my message, and I come to you and I tell you, well, my situation is a little different, but you don't know me. You only know me based off of my presentation of myself, right? I'm subjected to you believing me or not now, right?
Right.
So how would you take that as a young man? You see me when you meet me, see me another way, see me presenting myself a certain way. Then you see my lifestyle. Separate from my presentation to you. I'm asking you because you are of his generation. So when you see that, how does that make you feel?
I'll be conflicted and more apprehensive rather than, you know, more like my trust would diminish because it's like this nigga ain't really. I mean, he ain't really on the shit he's saying he on. I mean, I'm probably kick it for a little bit longer because I ain't gonna be rude, but I'm like,
I'm gonna say this, fellas.
See, that's the power of a hypocrisy accusation, and that's why the conversation.
What's the hypocrisy accusation?
No, that's not hypocrisy accusation because it's actually actual. He in my face, and I see it for myself. I get to be, you know, I get to use. I used to. I get to.
You're not being honest, game changer.
I'm gonna say it this way. What you see is the embodiment of the situation between whether it's men or women doing it. This is an issue with older, younger, whatever. Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X.
Okay.
When you told me one thing, and then I get close to you and I see something else, now I have issue because I'm like, yo, you didn't tell me about you was doing this though. I looked at you this way, but you doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So.
No, I don't get what you're saying. Elijah Muhammad did nothing wrong.
Well, you know what? Well, real quick, L.A.R. Real quick. A game changer. Then what you're saying, based off everything, what you're saying is, based from what I'm hearing, or what we laid out, you don't see nothing wrong with what he did, and he has every right to have his stance, and we don't have a right to question him.
I'm saying that the purpose behind questioning him is disingenuous. That's what I'm saying.
But see, this is the thing though.
He does have a right to his opinion.
No, but listen, you can't say it's disingenuous because you don't know everybody's motive for why they're saying it. And if we just being honest and we looking at it, right? Like I said, I don't know you, you don't know me, we don't know him. So based off of what his presentation was on how we got to know him, I don't know how he got with that white woman. I don't know how he got with his baby mom. I don't know how he got with his
I'm about to say some of the coldest traffic.
So I have every right. I have every right to question that without coming under scrutiny from what you might think because you like him.
Let me
it's
say
not a matter of me liking him. Could I say this right quick?
Oh, yeah,
it's really not. Listen, I was on his show before all this broke out. You know, salute to him because people like him tend to not let chess piece avatars on the show. So. You know, I appreciate that. He made an exception for me.
Keep dropping the ball.
But when I was in the chat room, before I got up there, when I was waiting in the back, before I got up there was a white boy dropping N-bombs. He was saying nigga in a casual way.
Right.
And I'm typing in the thing like, hey, he shouldn't be saying that. He shouldn't be saying that. And then he read it and he said, it don't really bother me, but for the sake of the show,
that coon won't let him do that. That's his thing.
No, my point is that, you know, I didn't like that he was allowing it and that he had to be told not to allow it.
Well, that's bad character right there.
However,
that doesn't mean I'm going to crucify the brother. I just looked at him as naive in that particular regard. I'm not going to crucify the brother like everybody else is, and I'm not going to call him a hypocrite when I don't think he is one.
Now, I'm gonna say this myself, and I'm about to shut it down when I say this. From my understanding, that dude has a daughter too, right?
He has a daughter and a son. I think.
Right.
I think
Yes, what I'm saying. Like, I think he has a daughter, and this is where the shit gets very hypocritical. And it's just a hypothetical. In 10, 20 years, 10, 15 years, I don't think he would want his daughter to date somebody like him that put his if he wouldn't want somebody to have his daughter in the same situation he got his lady in right now.
Nope.
But yeah,
by his doing, game changer, his doing.
So for me, that that's kind of all I need to know about situations like this. Same thing when we brought up Cynthia G earlier. If she has a kid, I don't think, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to even live in her neighborhood. I don't want to live nowhere near that crazy ass shit.
No. I'm just saying, when people have these, and even as a person, as a content creator, sometimes I talk about things that go on with me and my son or whatever. He don't necessarily like that shit, but I'm not lying. You get what I'm saying? But there comes a point where you gotta say, okay, if I was in this situation, would it be the same thing? And with a lot of this stuff that goes on, because I can say the same thing about Tommy Sotomayor. I can say the same. Fresh and Fit don't have kids. They had kids. I can say the same thing when that happens. You get what I'm saying? I can say the same thing because similar things happen with like Kristen and Karis, and I can say the same thing, with the young lady that was talking about the husband assaulted her. It's like we're on social media, and at the end of the day, we don't want to say, oh yeah, but if it was my people in that situation, I'll have a problem with it though.
Well, I mean, I meet people where they stand. I mean, people are okay. Let's just take Cooley for example, right? He want his girl to suck his dick, but he don't want his daughter to ever suck a dick, and that's what every father of a daughter. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a completely different thing. I want my dick sucked. I don't want my daughter ever sucking a dick.
But here's the problem.
It's a whole different.
No. It's not. Here's the problem. If your daughter keep hearing you talk about how good it is and how you love a chick for that, and then she start doing it, you part of that creation.
Okay, so he's not condoning thought behavior. He's condemning it. Possibly for the sake of his daughter. Yes, he is.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, he is.
He is.
He's condemning it. Okay, he's condemning it publicly, but
we don't know what he's
doing it privately.
Right. And on top of that, I'll give you one too before we get out of here because I know we about to go.
Because the kids gonna see it privately.
Yeah, I'll give you this. This one thing that can't be refuted, game changer. This is the thing, right? I'm gonna use myself as an example and transpose it to him. On the type of content I was putting out at first, I would show my wife, I would put my wife up, my children, my grandkids, because I was promoting to the black community that it was possible to have a family and walk in decency. You could live in the hood and have a wife. You can have a husband. I was promoting that type of image. That's not promoted in our community. I took all the stuff down and I stopped, but I was subject to public scrutiny because I decided to put my personal stuff out online, and based off of my rhetoric that I was promoting, I was subject to public scrutiny. So what I'm saying is, when he comes online and he talks about single moms, but he has his family online, right? He has his family online. He has a situation where he uses a lot of those Myron talking points, calling people low IQ, just allowing people to say the N-word, doing a lot of egregious things, cringeworthy stuff. He's subject to scrutiny because he puts his intellectual property and his words and his self and everything online. So now when people see something, and that's the only thing I'm dealing with. It has
I'm saying that scrutiny is biased. That scrutiny is biased as hell.
But
like,
what
so
I get it. But I get it.
I'm getting over. Listen. You got your family. You know, you got you got your pro blackness going on, and something like that. Listen, if they caught you, on camera with a white chick, you will not hear nothing from my channel about it.
But that's you. But guess what though? But hold on,
that's because I have a sense of brotherhood.
That's
how you have cohesion.
But you conflating two different arguments.
Hey fellas, let me shut this down. Let me say this, and I'm gonna shut this down in this way. Just because I gotta go. The anti-blackness in this red pill community is also biased.
Yep, but he not gonna deal with that.
So that's part of the issue. You can't have one without the other. But since I'm finna, I gotta go because I gotta use the bathroom. Catch y'all on the next one. I'm kidding. The outro. Peace.
All right. Peace.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Do this.
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way. I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, cause when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Quick before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you should follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.